Good morning. This is Octothorpe. I'm your host, McKee, with my co-host, Rustemeyer. How are you doing today?
That was pretty good, dude. I'm doing fine.
It's glad to hear. I'm glad to hear that.
Mm-hmm. So, we heard y'all from the last podcast. We worked on the audio. Hopefully this one's a little bit better.
Yeah, hopefully.
So what happened is our tech guy, he's behind the scenes. He's a real fucking Nimrod.
Yeah, real asshole.
Yeah. So we fired that bitch.
Yeah, got a new one.
Got a new guy.
What's his name?
Jamie.
Jay. Can we do that?
What, he copyrighted the name Jamie? Get the fuck out of here. There's plenty of Jamies out in the world. This one's female.
Female Jamie.
It's a female Jamie. Yeah.
Nice. Can I meet her?
No.
Is she hot?
She looks like a troll, so I think you and her would have a Shrek Fiona thing kind of going on, which...
I'm into that.
Yeah. All right. Then yeah. Yeah, you can meet her.
Okay, cool.
You can make
cool,
hobgoblin children.
Cool. Dude,
Yeah.
Nice. It's farther than I thought I'd ever get. Hey, hobgoblin children is children, you know?
Mm-hmm. Carry on the legacy.
Yep. As long as it doesn't end with me, you know, the name continues then.
Yeah, I was a little worried about that with my family lineage.
Yeah.
So
you were worried about that?
I was worried about it, yeah. Because even though I guess it's not really our like true heritage.
Yeah.
So my dad was adopted and he got his adopted parents' last name, Rustemeyer.
Okay.
So I got no clue what his, I guess, like birth last name was. I got no clue.
There's no record of it?
I'm sure that if we hunted it down, we could find it. But I remember.
Don't care.
Well, the problem was because he didn't care. Like he had no desire to learn about that stuff.
Yeah.
So I remember asking him. I was like, you know what happened? Like when were you put up for adoption? All that stuff. He was put up like right after birth.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you turn 18, I believe, in the like I don't know, adoption papers or whatever, if the parent that puts you up for adoption once at 18 years old, you can contact them. So I guess
you can't do it before?
If they, I guess with like certain paperwork, like you can't try to seek them out beforehand.
So like, is that saying like you are not allowed to try and seek them out, or like the adoption center won't give you any information?
They won't give you information.
Okay.
So I guess like on your own free will, your own like...
You can like PI that shit.
Yeah.
If you
could
to.
Probably like hire somebody to do some digging, but either way. So I guess at 18, they sent him the information to contact his birth mother, and so I asked him, "Did you do it?" He was like, "No, I didn't care." I'm like, okay. So our family heritage on my dad's side at least is like it begins with him, and right now it just like ends with like my siblings. So we were worried. We're like, well, the rest of my name is not going to be carried on. Because I guess saying we were worried isn't really a thing, but me and my brother had talked about it. So I have had nieces and nephews. Nieces and nephews, step nieces, step nephews. My biological sister had 2 daughters, but they don't get the Rustemeyer last name.
Yeah.
And now, as of last week, on September 10th, my brother had a son, and so the Rustemeyer name carries on. So I don't have to worry about pooping out another a fucking kid.
Yeah. So you're done now. Well, congratulations.
Yeah. They did the work. I don't have to do anything now.
Now you can sit back and relax and enjoy the extra money.
Yeah, 100%. It sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
I think for me, I think one of the biggest problems in America that we have is that people are sold that is like your job. Your job is to find somebody to settle down with and have kids.
Yeah.
That's what we're told, especially being from the Midwest. Like that's the Midwest dream right there. People don't do any self-reflection about themselves before they bring another human being into the world. I realize that I am far too selfish.
Yeah, I'm a piece of shit. There's no way I'm ever going to have a kid.
Yeah. I did that self-reflection. And I was like, I care way too much about myself and my wife.
Yeah.
Like any energy that I have left over about caring about myself, which is very little energy because I care about myself way too much, I send it towards my wife. And so I'm not ready. I'm not mature enough. You think with this receding hairline and the wrinkles that I have, I'd be mature enough, but I'm not.
Yeah.
To sacrifice my time and my energy towards a child. Nah.
Yeah, I don't see it happening for me either. I mean, my brother's got a girlfriend he's been with for probably 2 years now.
He's what? 8? Is he 18 now?
Oh, fuck, don't ask me that shit, dude. He is 4 years younger than me, so he's either 17 or 18, yeah. Which he's out of the house now.
Oh, yeah?
He's working at a 7-Eleven.
Hell yeah, dude. We were just talking about 7-Elevens.
Yeah.
They really bring in the undesirables.
Yep. There's no place I'd rather go for my late night snacks, too.
Oh, yeah.
I feel right at home, honestly.
Yeah. I go in, I get like a taquito at like midnight. Perfect.
Go in and get like that Metrics protein bar, that 4 a.m. Metrics protein bar after a long
It's got 800 calories in it, and you're like, perfect.
Yeah. And you can go in and literally anything you want. As long as, like, you're clothing yourself. You can go in anything, and you get, like, no looks at 7-Eleven. Like, no one gives a fuck.
Right. It's even... Just cover up your balls and your hang down.
Yeah.
You don't need a shirt.
You could come in the Borat swimsuit.
Yeah. Service.
Yeah.
With a smile.
Exactly. Yeah. And they'd be like, is that all?
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of, I knew a guy from my hometown that worked at a 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
And his name was Lenny or Carl or something like that. And they called him Big Lenny or Big
Okay,
Carl.
so...
Sorry,
you said Lenny or Carl.
Yeah.
Lenny is a mentally handicapped person of Miser Men.
Yes.
And Carl is a mentally handicapped person from Sling Blade. So this dude's mentally handicapped, I'm assuming.
Sling Blade?
You never seen Sling Blade? The guy's just like, I reckon that'd be good with some French fry or taters. Mm-hmm.
No.
It's like Billy Bob Thornton's like probably the only good acting he ever. Billy Bob Thornton?
Yeah.
You know who Billy Bob Thornton is?
Not at all. Not a fucking clue.
You're kidding.
No, I think you're just like 97 years old, and it's showing right now.
Okay, have you ever seen Friday Night Lights, the movie? Not that shitty TV show?
No. I have heard of the TV show.
You didn't know there was a movie called Friday Night Lights?
No.
Okay, have you seen Armageddon?
Explain it. That kind of sounds familiar.
Mickey, you're fucking with me.
No, I'm actually.
You are.
No, I'm not. I swear.
You've never seen. It's like, have you ever heard of the Bible? Oh, it rings a bell, but could you describe the plot beginning to end?
Shit, I don't. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think I heard that name before. Did she go to Ridgemont?
Yeah. So you're dead serious? You never heard of Armageddon?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, so here, let me like really set the stage for any of the listeners. McKee is the ultimate contrarian. Whatever is popular, McKee is like, boo, hiss, boo, I hate that. Whatever is absolute dog shit, McKee is like, I loved it.
Not true.
I loved it.
Not true.
100%.
You heard last week that I would have fucked Billie Eilish. And I can't name a more popular pop singer right now.
Yeah, but you like Billie Eilish's music.
I do.
Yeah, it's garbage. So you're a contrarian.
She's the most popular pop singer. How the fuck is that contrarian?
It's because everybody else's taste is garbage too.
Okay.
But,
so you call me a contrarian while claiming to dislike one of the most popular pop singers right now.
Yeah, name something else popular that you like. Here it comes, the long pause.
I like eating.
Eating? You like eating?
Yeah, that's pretty popular.
Food?
Everyone fucking does it.
Okay.
I like sleeping. Once again, name someone who doesn't. And what else do I like? Huh.
You ran out of stuff.
Yeah,
you ran out of stuff after eating and sleeping.
That's about it.
And then that's Goblin's favorite pastime.
I like drugs, but I can't do them anymore.
Now,
Those are pretty fun.
you never really. Whenever people think of drugs, are like, it's a wide range of stuff.
Yeah.
So, are you okay with us talking about like what you have done?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Okay. Me neither.
Let's elaborate.
So, as far as I know, you've smoked weed
Yes.
and you used to do Xanax.
Yep.
That was it, right?
I did Xanax and I had a prescription for Adderall.
Yeah.
And
That's kind of like.
that's it. Yeah.
That's not like real drugs, though.
No. Never did any needle shit.
Well, we get. No, me neither, dude. I won't inject anything into my body.
Nah. I do like suppository though. You know.
What drug do you have to shove up your ass?
I just kind of want to try it.
Oh, okay. Like it's a placebo, whatever.
Yeah.
Just shove it up there.
Yeah, it's just like a joint, and I just shove it up my ass or something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm feeling kind of paranoid.
Could you not do Xanax while in the military?
Are you?
Yeah.
Could I not?
Yeah. This is a genuine question. I don't know if you can or can't.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I mean, maybe if you have a medical. I'm not the right guy to ask.
Well, I mean, like what? Like Xanax is just an upper, right? Makes
No,
you feel good.
it's a downer. It's a.
Oh, it's a downer. Then why the fuck do people feel better whenever you take that shit?
It's a.
Oh, it's
people take it for
anti-anxiety.
for stress disorders.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you take too much, you can like black out though.
How much is too much?
It depends on the person. Yeah, but if you like don't take anything and you take like a full bar, for your first time, you're probably gonna black out. That happened to me.
No shit.
Yeah, I blacked out. We went to a mall. I took a bar, and I blacked out. And apparently, during this time, I hit on somebody's girlfriend that was there.
Mm-hmm.
From us. Apparently, I got her phone.
Well,
And
this is like really uncharacteristic of you. Too.
It is. Apparently, dude, I'm the fucking man when I'm on drugs. Apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I took her phone, or she gave it to me, or some shit. I don't remember any of this.
Mm-hmm.
But I called her boyfriend at the time. Was like something to the equivalent of like don't worry about it. Like I'll take care of her. Like some shit like that.
Oh,
like,
god dang,
like
dude.
he wanted to like I don't know, fight me or some shit after this.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, and then I got kicked out of a Spencer's.
That's so weird. Like to imagine you doing that. Like if
Yeah.
I saw you doing that, it would blow my mind.
You'd be like, who is taking over?
Right. I'd be like, who's at the wheel?
Yeah.
So we had a really good buddy in college. His name was Art, and Art.
That was his legal name.
It was Arthur, but he went by Art because
Yeah.
like who the fuck goes by Arthur?
I feel like I would.
Do you know an Arthur?
Will you call me Arthur from this point forward?
Yeah, I don't give a
Okay,
shit.
I'll be Arthur now.
Okay, all right, Arthur.
Hello, welcome to what the fuck are we called? Octothorpe.
Yep.
With Arthur.
Yep. And so, Art was the most like outstanding Christian individual that you ever seen in your whole damn life.
Uh-huh.
Art was also like 6'3", 215, handsome guy. I believe he's a cop now in around the St. Louis area, St. Louis, Missouri.
Yep.
So he's a really, really good athlete. He was a tight end. Great Christian guy. Like he was just like, oh shucks, guys. Like one of those. Like something bad would happen. He'd be like, oh, this really just
Did not
ticks
have it
me
in
off.
Yeah, couldn't curse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard him curse once.
Damn.
And whenever somebody doesn't curse, whenever they do curse, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
You're like, I need to get out of this person's way. I need to make sure they're okay. Make sure they're not going to kill somebody. Because whenever they don't curse, and then they do, you're assuming that they're at level 10.
Yeah.
They're as mad as they could possibly get. But so Art was just like the sweetest gentleman. All the girls really loved Art. They're like, Art is just like the best. He's the sweetest guy in the world. And they weren't wrong. I'm assuming probably 99% of them had crushes on Art. He was also kind of naive and probably too naive to realize that like every girl was kind of into him.
Yeah.
So Art ended up in a football game. He ended up breaking his like tibia or fibia or something like that. His shin, one of his
Okay,
shin,
yeah.
one of his
I'm
shin
glad
bones.
you clarified.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea.
Yeah. So he ended up breaking his leg. So he went and got surgery on it. Got put in a boot. Got put on crutches. But they gave him, I think it was Percocets.
Yep. Pretty good. Pretty nice. I
This
had those
dude-
from my last one.
This dude had drank once in his life,
Uh-huh.
and then they give him perks. So his body is
Wait, so not just like after the surgery, like here's a Percocet, like they
they get
prescribed.
prescribed him Percocet.
Okay.
And so he had these Percocets, and he would, whenever he'd take them, much like you, almost not complete opposite personality, but a much different personality, a more outgoing personality.
Just like it's like those kind of drugs just really like lift the limits.
right.
Like there's no more buffer. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I'm a relatively polite person,
Yeah.
which is normal. Like because you don't really get anything from causing trouble.
No, being
For the
rude to
most
people,
part.
there's nothing. What does it make you feel good being rude to people? It
Yeah.
shouldn't.
No, it doesn't make me feel good at all. Like
No.
it makes me feel like shit.
Yeah, I'll
And
think
then-
about
and
that
then you
for
don't
like the
get
rest of the
anything.
day.
Yeah, you don't get anything from it. But when I was on those, like, dude, anyone in my way, fuck them.
Right, right. I've never taken pills or anything like that. But Art would become much more open
Mm-hmm.
to, especially like the female population. And he had, we called his alternate personality Chester for no reason.
Okay.
No reason. We were just like, yo, that's Chester. Chester's going wild, man. So we would get Art/Chester to go to the bars with us.
Mhm.
And sure as shit, you would see Art, who would normally be standing in the corner, like kind of very awkward. He's still on crutches and stuff, but like he would be like smooth talking with the girl, trying his best to dance and everything. And I was like, oh man, this dude is a different person. So I kind of, even though I didn't see you in that time, make that phone call to that boyfriend, or even like hit on a girl, I can kind of imagine like what that would have been like, because Art was a lot like you, a little bit more reserved.
Yeah, one of my alter egos took over. Horny Connor was at the wheel.
yeah. We didn't even change the name, just gave him an adjective.
Yeah.
Old horny Connor.
That's most of my alter egos.
Most of them are all just the adjective.
Yeah, that's how it's just easier to categorize them that way.
Right. You're like,
Like
oh,
the
here
names
comes.
the names are for other people, because like when it doesn't matter to me when they're at the wheel, I'm not here,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really make a difference. You know what I mean?
Right. I will. So I've never even heard McKee, apart from Billie Eilish or Lizzo, talk about like another, like a woman, or like hitting on a woman. I will say, a couple weekends ago we were playing frisbee golf,
Yep.
and you had a couple beers, and this girl walked by and go, "Hello, who is that?" And I was like,
Yeah, when
I was like,
yeah,
McKee.
when I get them in me.
Oh yeah, there you go. But yeah, never taken any pills. I have smoked weed before, and I imagine that once I get out of the military, I'll do it again. I enjoyed
Yeah.
smoking weed, but I wasn't somebody that could smoke every day.
Weed was never really fun to me. It felt like it took too long. I mean, like the high was okay. I got paranoid once or twice,
Mhm.
but like
what
I
do you
did
mean
it.
the high took too long? Like it took too long to like kick in?
I did it so infrequently that when I would do it, like the like I don't know the technical terms, but I would categorize it as like the high that like everyone thinks about, and then there's also like a body high too,
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
where like your body feels like it's like floating or whatever.
Yeah.
I would feel that body high for about 2 days.
Okay. So the first time that I smoked, I'm going to categorize it as successfully, because I had smoked probably 3 or 4 times
Yeah.
and not felt
Not
a
gotten
thing.
high. Yep. Same.
Not felt a thing. And I was just like, this is the worst. Like, this is what people are like
Sorry, I spent money
upset
on,
about.
money on this?
Like, no, I don't spend money on drugs. I'm just around shady characters.
Whoa.
I'm just around shady characters.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is what people are like so pissed off that's not legal. oh no, and now I smell bad. That was all I thought weed was.
Yeah.
And so the first time that I successfully got high, I had to go to work the next day. I felt so funky.
Yeah. It's like I can't
that body height.
I can't do anything now.
Right. I couldn't shake it. Like it wasn't even I didn't feel like my brain was moving slow. I didn't feel like,
I was all there mentally.
Yeah.
It's just like, this feels like shit. Like, can I just go back to normal now?
Yeah. Like I felt
not
like
fun anymore.
Yeah. I felt laggy.
Yeah.
And not mentally. It was just like my body just felt a little off, a little bit of a fog.
Yep.
But I did enjoy whenever I was high. And once again, like I didn't smoke enough to like really get over that like next day. Like people are like, you don't get hangovers from weed. That next day hangover that I would get, I didn't smoke enough to overcome that.
Yeah. I don't know. 16-year-old me, when I did this shit, would pick the pills over the weed any day.
Okay.
I had more fun on the pills during the high, and I would have better stories after.
Unless you blacked out.
Yeah, well, they always got back to me. Because I did it with other people.
Right.
I mean, as long as I didn't get in trouble, which was probably like much more likely to happen on the pills.
Yeah.
Because I sound like a fucking asshole when I do
you
this.
sound like a real fucking...
Yeah.
Like if I didn't know you and I encountered you while you were acting like that, I'd be like, fuck this guy.
You'd be like, what the fuck is this midget doing?
Yeah. I'd be like, dude, this dude's 5'6", 5'3".
What is this 4'7" dude doing taking this girl's phone?
Bro, we're going to progressively make you smaller as this podcast goes on.
Yeah, every time we reference me.
Yeah,
at this point, I'm like up to like her belly button already.
Yeah. It was like whenever we were talking about Lizzo last week.
Yeah.
Every time that I mentioned her weight, she just progressively got heavier.
Yeah.
She started at 300. She ended, I think, at 7.
Which is, hey, it makes no difference to me.
Okay.
She ain't 480. She ain't a lady.
Okay. All right. But yeah, so I, like whenever I smoked weed, it was great. Honestly, so most people go through like their weed smoking phase. Probably in high school at some point you get introduced to it. Yep. Especially like in college for sure.
I didn't do anything in college. Well, I did Adderall, but I was prescribed Adderall at that time.
Right. I didn't do any of that. I didn't do anything. So like people, they're like, oh, the college years, that's whenever you get your wild side out and all that, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't for me.
Yeah, I did that shit in high school. I was very responsible in college for what I was there for.
Right.
Because at that point I was paying for it. I didn't want to fuck off.
Right.
Because I'm paying for this shitty education where the teachers don't care anyway.
Yeah.
That always pissed me off about college. Like, it is supposed to be like the pinnacle of your education, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's where teachers care the fucking least.
Absolutely.
When I'm paying them, they care less than my high school teachers. Like, what the fuck am I here for?
Right. Well, it's because high school, middle school, elementary school, all of that, they see you more often. So they form relationships, so they care a little bit more. 2, them receiving tenure at some point is a direct reflection of how they are doing as an instructor.
Yeah.
You get to college, they are paid either way. If they fail everybody, guess what? That must be a hard class. That teacher knows what they're doing.
Which is some professors actually like pride themselves on their failure rate.
Oh yeah.
Which is like insane. I've had classes where the tool that we've used to submit the work, and I've had friends who have had this too, where the system to submit your work just didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just couldn't. The whole class couldn't fucking upload their file or whatever.
Yep.
And teacher was like, "Oh, that sucks." And gave them all zeros.
Yep. Absolutely.
What the fuck's up with that?
I remember we had, it was for a writing course in college, and this was like, I'd never used, I think it's called Dropbox.
Yep.
I'd never used Dropbox before.
Okay.
And the thing was just freaking out. And I was on a school computer. I wasn't even on my computer, so I was like, okay, well, the school's network is clearly, I didn't know anything about the internet at the time.
Yeah.
So like it's
it's
clearly ass.
Kind of fucky.
Yeah. That was my professional diagnosis.
You call
like
over
that.
the librarian. Excuse me, miss. It's kind of being fucky. Could you help me? And she's like, I get. She's a student too. She's like, dude, I'm here so I can pay for
I'm doing work study hours.
I'm here so I can pay for my fucking dorm room. Can you let me go back to doing my classes?
Like, yeah, as soon as you tell me why it's so fucky.
Yes, just fix the fucky, and you can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was like, oh, the internet's bad. So I emailed the teacher. Somehow email's working fine. Doesn't read the email all the way to the next day in class. And I was like, I didn't get an email back from you. She goes, I haven't checked my email. I was like, isn't that like the one fucking job that you have besides showing up to this class and making shit up? And
what class was this again?
This was, it was supposed to be called American Literature.
Okay.
But
so it's a jerk off class.
It was a jerk off. I needed something for electives, I think.
Yeah.
But it's called American Literature. But so she was born. She was American, 100% American, but she was Middle Eastern descent.
Okay.
And she was like, I'm here to broaden your horizons. So we're going to read about this book that this guy wrote in the Middle East. And I'm like, is this American literature? Shouldn't I be reading Tom Sawyer or something? Like anything around that, around those lines?
So she just was like, I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah, she was like, read the syllabus. It says, psych, not American literature. And I was like, whatever. So I was like, I sent you an email. She's like, I haven't checked it. And I said, well, I told you last night at like 7 o'clock at night, like, Dropbox is not working. She was like, other people sent it in. I go, when did they send it in? She's like, midnight, 1 a.m. I'm asleep. I was a college athlete. Like I was asleep at that time. I probably tried to send that and then sent the email and went right to sleep. She was like, well, other people sent it in. I was like, other people don't have to fucking wake up at 5 a.m. and go running. And so she was like, I'm sorry, that's going to be an unexcused miss. And I was like, get the fuck out of here, lady.
God damn. Yeah, I know I need to go back for the job profession that I want to do. But I really don't want to.
You almost don't need to anymore. So with being in the military, for anybody that doesn't understand, you have the benefits of going to college. And you can go to college and be in the military at the same time. It's not going to be the traditional college experience. You're not going to go to the campus. You're not going to live in the dorms. You're probably not going to see your teacher face to face ever. But they do have online courses, which is probably what you and I would end up doing. So you don't need to see the teacher, and your work is going to be based on, like, you just turn your work in, which at that point, it's just on you.
Yeah. It's
no more like fuckery of, I didn't see you in class today. No, you didn't see me in class today. I was stacking bodies. I'm just kidding. We don't stack bodies.
Yeah, I was cleaning the shitter.
Yeah. I was police calling for 8 hours today.
I was avoiding working parties. Yeah. Bitch. Now grade my paper.
Yeah, you don't know how hard that is.
Now this was supposed to be a 7-page paper. You have 400 words here. Did I fucking ask about the requirements? Grade my paper.
Yeah. What I wrote down?
I am fighting for your freedom.
Yeah. What I wrote down, I want you to grade that.
Listen, why would I need to use more words when you fucking get it in 400 of them?
So I was actually looking up taking college courses, and
yeah, what are you trying to go back for?
I want to get my master's in computer science.
Okay. Would you need to get a bachelor in computer science to do that first, or can you build off?
I'm looking into like what the prerequisites would be. Wondering if they would take my bachelor's in science and just be like, okay, here's some the kind of more like remedial courses that you need to take in order to get accepted into this. And at that point, yeah, go ahead. Like, yeah. I'll take those courses. But I know for sure all of my like gen eds would already be out of the way.
Yeah. That's as far as I got. I just got gen eds off the table and then ran out of money.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Getting to the meat potatoes of what you want to do, and it's like,
yeah,
can't take a single one of these.
Programming one. What the fuck?
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah. But we had somebody come in and they explained like what being in the military and taking online courses is like. And they're like, you know what? If you're going to be on a, like, quote unquote, like, mission, or if you're on a training exercise that takes you away for an extended amount of time, you email your instructor and they have to recognize that you will be away from, like, online computers. And I was like, wait, so you're telling me that if there's a paper that seems really fucking hard and they gave me a really tight deadline to get this thing done, I could be like, hey, sorry, teach, I'm gonna be in the field for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I gotta go to Norway.
Yeah,
I can't tell you about it. Top secret, by the way.
Yeah.
So.
I was like, that doesn't sound too bad. That sounds all right.
I'll have to look into that. Maybe I could scam my way through a full college degree doing that shit.
Heck yeah. College is a scam anyway. You might as well get yours.
It fucking means nothing really anymore.
No. Absolutely not.
You just need it to be in a managerial position at any company that's worth a fuck.
Right. So, we took advice from our listeners once again, and they said, write down a few subjects.
Yeah.
To talk about, so that we can fill the void.
Okay.
McKee, did you write anything down?
I'm glad you listened to the listeners' advice, because I don't think I read that email.
Yeah. You were CC'd in it, and you should have gotten it.
Oh, yeah. On which email account? Sorry, I have like 7 for different businesses that I'm running.
No, it was for the military one that you set up. Big Balls McGut.
Yeah.
At AOL.com. I can't believe you
No, that's not my
AOL.
No, that's not my military. My military is BigDick7@gmail.
Yeah. Because Big Dick 1 through 6 was taken. Military members.
Also by me.
you own all of them?
Yeah, I own Big Dick 1 through 7. They're just for different business ventures. I like to keep my shit organized.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So McKee didn't write any subjects down. I didn't write any subjects down. But I did think of something. So my wife sent me, I believe it was Sunday or Saturday. She knows that I like spooky stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I like scary movies. I like creepy stories. I'm not a big fan of, like, true crime stuff. I know true crime is, like, all the rage.
Yeah.
Like, true crime documentaries and all that. Everybody loves that shit. I'm okay with that. That's all right. But I like that paranormal.
I like the true crime when I'm in the mood. But I'm a big fan of the paranormal as well.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that I'm probably a bigger fan of the paranormal, or at least the supernatural, than true crime.
Yeah.
And by supernatural, I mean, like, specifically, like, cryptids and, like, cryptozoology, like that pseudoscience shit.
Okay. Do you want to explain that real quick?
So cryptozoology is like...
Open your mouth a little bit more so people can understand what the fuck you were saying right there.
Whoa!
Because I know what you're saying, and you're still mumbling.
I'm organizing my thoughts.
Right no. Say the topic that you're about to talk about, because you're like, okay.
Sorry, I talk like a mumbling New Yorker.
Yeah, you talk like fucking mushmouth.
Yeah.
That's
what
Fat
I said.
Albert in the game.
That's what I just said. Wait, Fat Albert?
Yeah, Fat Albert.
What was that?
Oh my God, Mickey! By the end of this fucking podcast.
All right, I was fucking with you that time.
Yeah.
So cryptozoology is a pseudoscience relating to creatures that...
Okay, you don't have to yell at me.
Whoa, I'm opening my mouth, dude. I'm projecting.
Okay, go
Talking
ahead.
like a man. Where it's like animals that are like Bigfoot and skinwalkers are examples of these animals, if you've ever heard of them. They're supposedly animals, or like, yeah, pretty much animals. I'm sure I'm fucking butchering it, but animals that haven't been discovered that exist or could possibly exist, and it's the study of those animals is like how they explain it.
So it's more or less there's like alien experts.
I don't think aliens.
It's like a different category though. You know how like people are like, you watch Ancient Aliens.
Oh,
this person's an alien expert.
It's those veins of people.
Okay.
Like, it's all those people, but I don't think aliens are in the purview of it.
So, Shar had sent me. That's my wife. Shout out.
Yeah.
Represent.
Mm-hmm. Hold it down.
Yeah. Hold it down. So Shar sent me this podcast. She's like, hey, it's these 2 women. I was already turned off because like, oh my God, yeah,
broads.
Right.
Yeah, you know.
I was like, what? They got opinions? Who fucking told them they could have that?
God, what is a fucking 17-hour podcast? Can't stop talking,
Bro. I'll get to that. Hold on, dude. That's so funny you say that.
Did I hit that? Did I hit that on the nail?
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. So she sent it to me. She was like, basically, this podcast, what they do is they tell you the story of something paranormal that happened, like a paranormal tale. And then the other half is true crime. So each podcast consists of 2 different stories, one being about ghosts or some shit, and the other one being about somebody murdered their ex-wife or some shit.
Is it like a screen read or?
Yeah. So they have like printouts that they read off.
Is it like a dramatic reenactment? Like, is it like a play read, or
No.
they just tell the story?
Yeah, they just read like police reports.
Okay. Yeah.
Essentially. And she sent it to me. I listened to it. Not a terrible podcast.
Certainly better than ours.
Oh, come on. Not a chance.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we're guys.
You got high hopes. Oh, yeah, that's true. We are guys,
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck, what's the name of their podcast?
Oh, man. This is why we drink.
This is why we drink. We're making enemies right now.
Yeah.
Fuck,
We're
this is
calling
why
them
we
out.
drink.
So let me tell you why I don't like their podcast that much.
Uh-huh.
It honestly has nothing to do with other women. I don't give a shit about that.
That's why I hate them.
Yeah. Incel, baby. So, I hate them for one. So, like, you click on a podcast, you're like, oh, it's an hour and a half podcast. Great. I can listen to this while I run for a while, while I drive to work, whenever I drive back from work. I've got plenty of listening time out of this one podcast. The first 30 minutes of each podcast is those 2 fucking clucking like hens in the yard about fucking nothing. I'm like, I'm here for chairs getting moved and possession. And you're here talking about how your husband made you potato soup.
That sounds like us, but, you're not here for the other subject matter.
Yeah. So
you're here.
Well, we haven't designated.
Well, you're here because you sent them the link.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All 2 of our listeners. What up, Kyle? What up, Shar?
Yeah, that's great. I feel no obligation to make this a good show. Now this is just us talking.
Well, it's my family listening, so
all right,
do your best.
Do you want me to tighten it up for you?
Yeah, tighten it up a bit.
I'll do it.
But we haven't like pigeonholed ourselves into a topic.
Yeah, subject matter.
Yeah. So like they're like, we're a podcast about ghosts, but let me just fucking ramble on about what happened this week for 30 minutes.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, okay, whatever. Then the thing that really turned me off to this podcast was they do.
Was it an ad read?
No, an ad
That's
reads.
what always turns me. All right, sorry, continue.
Those are okay because they got to make their money too. I understand.
Yeah.
The one thing that really turned me off was every couple of weeks, I guess, they have fan submissions. So fans will submit something creepy that happened to them, and they'll read it on air. Absolutely fine. Like that actually sounds like pretty fun. They have, when their writers write in, they have them say their name and their preferred pronoun.
that just
That
set
fucking
you off?
did it. That did it for me.
Yeah.
And every time that they're like, and Charles is writing in, I go, oh, I wonder what Charles identifies as him, he. Well, no fucking shit, because Charles is a goddamn guy. And they'll be like, thank you for normalizing pronouns. Pronouns have been fucking normal since we created the human language. People have been using pronouns. It's just now you motherfuckers are coming up with the craziest goddamn shit, and you're throwing it in front of your name, and you're like, hey man, I'm plural now. I go by them, they. What are you, Legion from the Bible?
Can we get my pronouns out of the way?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Caesar from now on.
I fucking hate you. I'm Your Majesty.
Okay.
Or Their Majesty.
Your Majesty or Their Majesty?
Yeah.
Your Majesty being the singular?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like if you're talking to me, I'm Your Majesty, so you have to be like Your Majesty,
Yeah.
and then address me. If you're talking to somebody else, you go Their Majesty.
Okay. Yeah.
Like you're talking about another group of individuals.
Sorry. I'm not an English major. I don't have a fucking made-up major. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that kind of like turned me off to that podcast. But whatever. To each their own, I guess. Except for that pronoun shit. Get the fuck out of here with that. So, whenever she sent me the link to it, I clicked on it. I listened to it on YouTube. I listened to probably like 3 episodes.
Her sent you the link.
Yeah, my wife is 100% a woman.
She, her pronouns, correct?
Yeah, those are the right ones for her.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Dude, you don't need to get hostile.
Shut the fuck up.
Listen, one of us has to be PC.
Well, address me as mine then, bitch.
What? There has been no need to, though. I know your pronouns are Your Majesty. They're
their Majesty.
I forgot your pronouns already. Can you repeat your pronouns?
Yes. See how difficult this shit is?
Yeah, it's kind of hard.
So, anywho, I listened to probably about 3 podcasts. I was really, because I tried to stay open-minded.
Yeah.
Even though, like, I've been taught from, like, a young age a certain way to think. Everybody has. Mm-hmm. I try my best not to totally get stuck into that. So I was like, I'm going to give this podcast a chance. Listened to about 3. After the first episode, I always skip in about 30 minutes because I'm like, okay, they're done clucking. But because I listened to that one podcast, YouTube started suggesting other podcasts in the same vein.
Okay.
And I came across this one called Lights Out Podcast. And it basically, it's an hour 15, hour 10, something around those lines of strict fucking real encounters of paranormal shit. It goes into the Warren files. You know who the Warrens are?
I do not.
So it's this couple back in the, I'm thinking 60s.
Okay.
I want to say 60s. Obviously, they lived more than that one decade, but
back when America was good.
Yeah. Time to make it great again.
Yeah,
am I right?
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. So they lived in Massachusetts in 60s, 70s, whenever. I think Lorraine.
You say 1670s?
60s or 70s.
60s or 70s. Okay.
Yeah, I think Lorraine Warren is still alive.
Okay.
The husband Ed has passed, but Ed was a quote unquote demonologist.
Okay.
And he was the only person recognized by the Catholic Church as a non-priest exorcist.
I imagine that was big.
Yeah, it's a big fucking deal. And so they've been on countless investigations.
Uh-huh.
More often than not, they find the logical thing that's happening. They're like, no, there's not something howling in your house. You got creaky floorboards.
Yeah, you got
something like that.
Yeah, you got a raccoon up here.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't smell like sulfur. You have to stop shitting in the corner.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Massachusetts stuff.
Yeah. I've never been, so you have to... I can only guess.
I'm just basing it off of Boston, because Boston's a fucking shithole.
I mean, I can only say the further north I've been in the United States, the shittier it's gotten.
Yeah, New York is disgusting.
Is it?
I was in Buffalo, New York. There was a fucking porta potty on every single corner of every single street.
Why?
I'm assuming because all those fuckers aren't like paying their plumbing bills or something. They're all just shitting in the street. I don't know.
That doesn't sound too bad. You never shit in a street?
I have, out of necessity. Wasn't gonna make it.
Would you have felt better if there was a porta potty there, though?
Yeah. You know what, Mickey? Yeah, you're right. Buffalo, New York, I apologize. You guys are outstanding.
Yeah, shout out to Buffalo, New York.
Yep. Not a shithole.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, multiple shitholes.
Yeah, wherever you want to.
Aren't porta potties? Are they dug into the ground, or is it just like
these ones were on concrete, so it was like
just
you had about
wind can take
you had about 3 or 4 feet of like dump that you could put in there before I guess the government came and removed them. I don't know. I don't know if this was a government funded project or if like it was just
like some guy was just like, stop shitting in the streets, man.
Yeah, like it was probably some dude that was doing community service, and he just constantly picking up human shit. He was like, I'm tired of this.
Yeah. You know what? Let me take out a loan of $10,000
every corner
and get
porta potty
in the whole town.
It felt like it. I know that their streets were ass. like pothole after pothole after pothole.
Well, I can't speak on that. It's no better where I'm from.
Yeah, I don't know, but so and Lorraine was what's called the clairvoyant. Do you know what that is?
They can like speak to the dead.
Right. Yeah. They have visions. They can see apparitions and all that kind of shit.
Okay.
So this Lights Out podcast basically goes through like each episode. They don't all revolve around the Warrens, but a lot of their episodes are just like a Warrens case file.
Yeah.
So they talk about Annabelle. They have an Annabelle episode.
Oh, is that what the fucking movies are from? Is that the characters are supposed to be the Warrens?
So the Conjuring movie, The Conjuring 2,
like the Exorcist,
the husband and wife. Yeah, that's the Warrens.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So those movies are based off of their exploits. Otis is my cat. She got a fucking hair up her ass right now, and she just. Mickey, can you try to let her outside?
Out the back?
No, let her out this front door.
Out the front?
Yes.
Okay. Whoa.
So grab her by the scruff and just toss her out the front door.
This is Arthur signing out.
Oh, actually,
yeah,
Arthur, go do it. No, all you got to do is unlock the door, and never mind, she ran away from you. You fuck.
What do you want, dude? I'm scared.
I said grab her by the scruff.
What? I didn't hear that.
Whatever. So, yeah, this Lights Out podcast, was my alternative to the podcast that Shar had recommended for me. Just because like these dudes get like straight down to business. I believe it's two brothers, and they just go like right into it. And they really don't do too much commentary about it. They're just like, hey, here are the facts. Let me present the facts towards you. And then every once in a while, the brother that doesn't really do too much talking chimes in. He goes, can you imagine how creepy that is? And I'm like, hey, yeah, buddy. Yeah, that's creepy as fuck. I agree with you. I'm glad that there's somebody else like realizing, because the one brother will just read the facts. And he'll be like, and then the priest walked in and this girl was hanging from her toes from the ceiling, and not even acknowledge how weird that is. And then the other brother will pop in and go, holy fuck. And you're like, thank you, man. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Kind of wild.
I was telling you to take over, bro. Take over. I'll let Otis out because you don't know how to do it.
So this podcast, Lights Out podcast, I've watched similar podcasts to these, but it's not really paranormal. They just tell like kind of short stories. There was one where they go into like I cannot remember the name of the podcast, but they go into this repeating down of a football game where this guy just keeps on losing the football game over and over, and every time like the down's over, the down restarts and he's back where he was before it. And they'll go into different podcasts like that. And I really tried to get into,
bro. That's a direct ripoff from a Goosebumps book.
Is it?
Yeah.
They might have read it from a Goosebumps book. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. That is from an R.L. Stine Goosebumps book. I remember that one clear as day.
Really?
Yep.
See, I read. I don't want to say a lot. I've read the Goosebumps books, at least some of them, but I cannot fucking. There's like 2 million Goosebumps.
Oh no, he's got
right?
a bunch of them. Yeah, there's like, and they even have like some of them have their own series, like Night of the Living Dummy, with whatever the ventriloquist dummy's name was, Chuckles.
Yeah.
He had like an entire family.
Yep.
And stuff, and like Night of the Living Mask had like four additions to that.
There was one with the cat. I don't remember what happens, but there's a fucking scary cat. And I didn't read the book, but they had the Goosebumps show.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a DVD of it that my parents had a minivan with one of those TVs that came down in the back seat to entertain my little...
Yeah, fancy.
Yeah, I was... Even back then, I was living in a luxurious lifestyle.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So they had put that on, and the DVD had a couple episodes on it, but that one scared the shit out of me. I remember one scene in particular that got me was like the protagonist. It's like her cat is the one that's, I don't know, getting spooky or whatever. I don't remember the exact details.
How do you mean spooky? Like it's getting like
it looks like I don't remember what happens to it, but it gets progressively more and more like fucked up as the show goes on. Like it's like losing hair and shit like that, and it just looks like scary at this
It's
point.
getting like more.
Yeah, it looks like it has like
demon-esque.
rabies and it's like been ran over a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And she like opens the cupboard like late at night to get a glass of water, and it's like back behind that, and it like jump scares her, and then it's like a jump scare in the story.
Yep.
And every time after that, for like
Till present day.
yeah, till present day, when I open a cupboard, I go, oh, fuck,
Another day safe.
not there this time, not there this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, that one fucking got me.
Yeah, there's a lot of R.L. Stein. I didn't. Those ones never got me. Like the Goosebumps, the TV show.
Yeah.
I remember. I don't know if you remember this, but Are You Afraid of the Dark? It was on Nickelodeon.
That rings a bell.
So it was a Canadian TV show that aired on Nickelodeon,
Okay.
and basically what it was a bunch of they said they were probably meant to be high school kids, but they kind of looked like or middle school kids, but they looked like high school kids. And every night at midnight, they meet at like a campfire in the middle of the woods. You gonna be all right?
Yeah, I'm dying over here.
He's scared. Just
asthma.
me describing this show.
He scared the fucking breath out of me.
So these middle school kids, they meet at a campfire in the middle of the woods, and they take turns telling scary stories. And then the show shows the story as it's happening. That was terrifying. And I remember television back in the day, whenever people cared about like what their kids like ingested from media, they would put the rating up in the top right corner.
Yeah. Ooh, fuck. I don't.
Bro, you are getting fucked up.
I
over there,
died.
huh?
Holy shit! What the fuck happened? I just had like a hiccup in the middle of saying that.
So yeah, the one word, one syllable. So, I remember the rating was Y7, which means anybody younger than 7 shouldn't be watching this show.
Yeah.
Too scary.
Yeah, 8-year-old's fine.
I was 6. And I remember seeing the Y7.
You're fucking.
And I was like,
Oh my god.
well, I was like, ooh, I'm doing something naughty.
Oh shit.
Like
locked the door.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Like, I genuinely thought that if my mom had watched me or saw me watching this show, that I was going to be in like deep trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But I had older sisters, so they were like, it's fine. You're with us. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, that means that it's okay that I'm watching this. And there were some episodes that I was like, whatever. That one was kind of whatever. At 6 years old, I was like, not scary. Man, there was probably a handful of them that left me fucked up.
Do you remember any?
I remember one in particular. Well, I remember 2. One of them was, there was, I guess, some kid at some point had died in this high school swimming pool.
Okay.
And it consistently, like, drowned kids.
Just
like,
the pool was an entity.
Well, it wasn't. No, the pool wasn't an entity. There was a spirit that was in the pool.
Okay.
And essentially, it was like a human body, but you couldn't see it. It was basically, it was like invisible or whatever, or like it like blended in with the water. It looked like water.
Yeah.
So it would just like grab kids, drag them to the bottom of the pool, kill them. Well, this guy and this girl, because there has to be sexual tension in every like 90s TV show.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, come on, Marty, I'll teach you how to backstroke. And he's like, I'm not scared of water, okay, Bridget? She's like, it's not even that bad. Here, I'll show you. And she's like, meet me after school, and I'll teach you how to swim. And he's like, I know how to swim. And she's like, you're not going to be able to pass the midterm if you don't know how to swim. Some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's like, oh, fine, whatever. He probably moved from like every 90s movie. This kid probably moved from New York to some country town, and he hates it.
It's like, fuck, my mom's gonna kick my ass if I don't pass that midterm.
Well, yeah, but he also thinks
need to learn
everything's
how to
dumb
swim.
because everything's not like where he's from. He's like, in New York, everything's way cooler.
Why did Dad have to move out?
Yeah.
Mom's a bitch.
Yeah. And her boyfriend, Reiki. Ugh. He keeps on calling me sport.
You're not my fucking dad, Ricky.
Yeah. So this Bridget or whatever, she's like, come on, Tommy. I probably fucked up this dude's name like 3 times, but she's like, come on. And so they meet after school. After school, for some reason, implied once everybody in that building has left,
So it's like 9
and
p.m.
it's just us. Yeah, 9 p.m.
The janitors are gone.
Yeah, there's nobody there.
Okay.
And so she's like, "Now teach you how to swim." Perfect timing. And so this thing like tries to like drag him into the pool, and so they run away from the pool. So you're like, problem solved. Don't get in that pool. That thing can't kill you if it's in the pool. Oh, but what about this? This thing can also travel through any water passage in the school.
They're fucked.
So they go to like the locker room. They're like hiding in the locker room. They're like, I can't believe that. And this thing comes pulling its ghostly ass up out of the suit, the drain pipe.
Yeah.
And they're like, ah. So what they do is they find chemical, like the stuff in that turns the pool water a different color.
Like chlorine? Or
Yes,
some shit?
it's not chlorine. It's some other type of chemical.
Okay.
And they dump it, and then that guy's visible now. So now that he's visible, somehow they're able to beat him.
So was it like a guy before it died, or?
Yeah, it was a dude. A dude that drowned in that water. And he was just like...
How often do you think he just would go into like the girls' locker room?
Well, I'm assuming
Just,
that
like,
it was...
stare at
I'm
some
assuming it was a
titties.
middle school kid that drowned in that pool.
So like every
So all
day.
the time. All the time.
Yeah.
Probably 12 times a day.
I would never leave. If
Yeah.
it were me.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the pool demon.
Yeah.
It'd be the girls' locker room
Yeah, it would be the
demon.
girls' locker room demon.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I'd kill him, but I'd kill him too.
Nice.
I could get away
Yeah.
with it as a spirit.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's no jail for you.
Yeah. And there's only eventually over countless hundreds of years, I might get tired of looking at titties. So
Right.
I'd need something to do then.
You'd go to the boys' locker room.
No, the next logical step would be killing them.
Oh, so like for a while, you just
And
observed.
then I'd go to the
So
boys'
for a
locker
while, you just observed.
Yeah.
Then you went to killing. Killing the females wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So you went to observing boys.
Yep.
That seems like the...
I feel like that's the
That's the
logical
route.
step. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
then you could be like, I'm not gay, dude. I just ran out of girls. I killed them
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, that's like...
I'm not a gay ghost.
well, that's like those dudes in Hollywood. They just bang so much pussy that they get tired of it. So they're like...
Are you talking about the actors or the pedophile directors?
I think the actors are still pedophiles for the most part.
Sure. But
Yeah.
I would assume the producers and directors are more pedophiles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, that one scared me. And then there was one about a clown. And it was a toy clown. Like this kid, I remember the kid was ugly as sin, had a smushed in, like, broken looking nose. And I remember my family used to make fun of the way this kid looked. But that episode was creepy to me because he stole a clown from like a pawn shop. This toy clown. The toy clown ends up just like haunting him. And I remember the clown there was a scene where this clown like was in the television. He's like, "Hey, Ricky, you're never gonna get away
His name
from
was
me."
Riggy?
Ricky.
Oh, Ricky.
Yeah, like Ricky.
Okay. I thought his name was Riggy. and-
Bro, you think I would remember this one character's name from this one episode? After
I was just going to say that's pretty close
like
to a
25 years ago.
dangerous word.
Oh yeah.
If we're calling him Riggy.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah, continue. Sorry, continue.
So, the kid was like, like, I'm gonna run away from the TV, and this clown just reached his arm, and his arm just kept extending until he grabbed the kid. And I just remember, like, anytime that I had to turn off the TV but didn't have the remote, so I wasn't far away from, you had to go up and you had to press the off button on the TV screen.
As far away from the TV
I'd
as
hit
possible.
that, and I'd press that off button and just book it.
Was it just that scene, or did clowns get you?
No, it was just that scene. Clowns don't scare me.
Yeah, I never got the clown thing. It never. Werewolves scared the fuck out of me, though.
Really?
Yeah, I remember I had this recurring dream where, back when I was like, probably stopped happening when I was like 10, 11. But up until then, after I watched it was like American Werewolf in London or some shit. Do you know the actual title of that movie?
American Werewolf in London, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that. And after that, I'd have this dream where the werewolf somehow fell into like vampire rules or some shit. Like, couldn't come into the house.
Unless you invited it.
Unless
Yeah, that's vampire rules.
But I would like look out the windows, and it would be like up on the gutters, like hanging from the gutters, just like staring down into the windows at me. Like every room I was in had like a window in the house. So it'd always be looking in at me from one of the windows, and it scared the fuck out of me. But I eventually stopped having those dreams. I don't know why werewolves, but those scared the fuck out of me.
So what would you say was what do you think scared you the most whenever you were a kid? And like, what do you think in like the paranormal monster, whatever realm scares you the most now, or is it the same?
Honestly, I mean, obviously werewolves then, but now I don't really get scared of it, and not like, oh, I'm a man, I don't get scared, but it's like
you can rationalize it.
Yeah, they kind
of
of like lost their luster. Like I don't really believe in it, so
yeah,
it's more of like an interest now than anything. Like I'm more scared of like responsibility, and like having a child or
understood,
getting caught doing coke, something like that. Like I have real problems now.
Have you had the dream yet where you smoked weed and then you went back to the unit and they were like, "Hey, you got a drug test"? Have you had that dream yet?
No,
dude, I've had that dream like twice, and both times I'm like, "Oh shit."
I've had the dream where I've gone in with a full fucking beard and no haircut though, and got my ass reamed. Which I don't know. I don't know why I have the like. I'm not even afraid of that. Like in real life.
Yeah.
Like if that happened, like I'm not afraid of getting yelled at anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't care.
Right.
But
that shit just rolls
I would
off.
still have that dream. I don't know.
Yeah, that shit just rolls off. Yeah. So, for me, I remember the one of the first nightmares that I ever can recall. Was a nightmare about a witch for some reason. Witch scared the shit out of me, and that was probably the first time that I ever went to my mom with asking for true advice. I was like, because the next night I was terrified to go to bed.
But you have a history of these like very, at least somewhat disturbing dreams. When did these start?
So I didn't have. I've always had really vivid dreams. And like whenever people are like, I don't remember my dreams. I remember that for the following day, I remember everything that I dreamt about. They're so vivid.
I only remember a very select few, but I do remember one that involved you.
Go ahead.
When I was in Florida.
I like hearing about myself.
I had one when we were going through JCAC together in Florida, and I think this was towards the end. We were like over the bend, but I just had this fucking nightmare this night. I don't know why. It wasn't even like a bad day, like nothing. I wasn't listening to anything scary. But I had this dream where Corey Station, the base that we were on, was effectively cut out, like a cutout of, if you imagine a room and humans are scaled down to like maybe an ant's size. So all of Corey was like a bedroom, something like that.
Okay, but we're appropriate size comparatively.
No, we were like ant size.
Yeah, but compared, like if you shrunk all of Corey Station into the size of a room, we shrunk comparatively the same amount.
Yes.
Okay.
So the barracks where I lived was this like skyscraper that was up on like this dresser.
Okay.
And you came in like fucking Kramer, like you always do.
Yep.
Just
came in
busting
hot.
in,
Yep.
busting in with some fucking story about someone that pissed you off, something like that. We're like, hey guys, guess what happened today?
That's every day, dude.
Every fucking day.
Isn't it? Like, honest to God, like every time that I come to your place, I'm like, you guys got to hear about this.
Guess what fucking happened to me? I'm like, what happened to you?
Yeah.
But you bust in like that, and you go through whatever. I don't remember the story that you told. And you go to sit on our window.
Okay.
And we're fucking high up.
Okay.
Like we're like at least 50 stories up in this like fucking dresser, and you go and sit on it to where your feet are hanging out, and I'm like, dude, I don't know if you should do that. And you're like, dude, it'll be fine, and you fucking fall off, and I like it. Like the time slowed down, like people will have like in real life with the adrenaline rush,
Right.
and like where I tried to grab you and you just fucking went. I was like, And then I woke up. I woke up in a cold sweat, like sat up, like from the dream,
Damn.
and I was like, "Holy shit!" I could not sleep for like another 2 hours.
That's intense, man.
I've never had a dream wake me up like that.
Dude, you're worried because I'm your best friend.
One of them, yeah.
I'm your best friend.
You can have multiple best friends. Don't give me that shit. Don't make me rank my fucking friends.
That's right. Yeah, you can't have multiple best friends. You can have a favorite best friend though.
Yeah, and I don't do that.
Okay.
It makes other best friends feel bad, dude.
All right.
Are you gonna do that?
Yeah, you're not my best friend.
See, that made me feel like shit.
Did you think you were?
No.
Okay. Well, I think I'm your best friend.
Okay.
Are you gonna tell me I'm not?
I'm not gonna answer.
Okay. All right, guy. Okay.
Because you're gonna be like, my wife is my best friend.
My wife is not my best friend. That's
What the fuck? You pissed off one of your 2 listeners.
yeah. But I'm about to make the other one real happy. Congratulations, Kyle. You're my best friend. But yeah, so I'm able to remember every single dream that I have. And I always had, even since I was like little, I've probably had more nightmares than what most people have. But they weren't very frequent. And it wasn't until I probably hit like adulthood where my frequency of nightmares really cranked up. So
Really?
yeah, it used to be
Usually it's the opposite.
right. Like you grow out of it.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what happened, but I probably once I hit 22, 23, somewhere around that age.
That's around the age that schizophrenia will start happening too, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Weird.
Cool dreams though.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I'll look into it.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
There was again. So anyway.
Hey, shut up. We're doing a fucking podcast. All right, continue. Sorry, I was talking to
all
myself.
right, dude. So I started having nightmares once every 2 weeks. It was almost like clockwork. It was like once every 2 weeks I will have a nightmare, which doesn't seem like that much.
That's pretty fucking frequent, though.
Oh, you think?
Mine,
I wish I could go back to that.
really?
Yeah.
More now?
Oh, yeah.
Mine's like maybe once every like 2 months, something like that.
So it used to be like I'd have like a nightmare and it's just like, oh, and I kind of like, like whenever I fell off that ledge in your dream, you just wake up.
Yeah.
It's whatever. So it used to be like that where I'd just be like, oh, kind of like wake up. Okay, that was a dream. And I'd pass right back out. That's fine. As I get older, the frequency has gone up significantly. I probably have one a week. And sometimes multiple times a week. And right now my wife is away on a business trip.
Yeah.
And my nightmares, she knows I have like terrible nightmares. My nightmares evolved to where I straight up scream in my sleep. And
That sounds pretty cool.
could you imagine laying next to somebody though in the middle of the night and they're just like, ah! Ah!
That scared the shit out of me.
Scare the fuck out of you, right?
Yeah.
She handles it really well. So what she does is she'll like roll over and she'll like shake me until I wake up. And then she goes, "Are you okay?" And every time I go, "Yeah, I'm fine," because I'm a fucking tough guy.
You roll over and cry.
No, I usually roll over and I'm asleep before she is. So I'm just like, I'm like, oh, well, yeah, you were having a nightmare. And then I remember what the nightmare was about. I was like, oh, that was fucking scary.
Bad nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, have fun getting back to sleep.
Yeah. Enjoy knowing you sleep next to a psychopath. But so right now, Char's out of town on a business trip. And so nobody's here to wake me up.
Yeah.
So my last few nightmares have been, the only way that I wake up is the sound of myself screaming has gotten so loud that it disturbs me in my sleep. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so like I'll literally just like wake up and like I'll wake up and whenever I'm waking up I can just hear like the last note of like my scream like still like kind of coming out of my mouth. And I'll just be like, holy shit, that was a bad nightmare.
Do you still like get right back to sleep or?
So I think, and I talked to Shar about this, like whenever I had her by me, it was like almost like a comfort. Like, okay, like cool. You know, I'm not alone. She's right here. It's fine.
Yeah.
And so that's what like let me go back to sleep. And then right now it's like it's me and the cat. And I'm like, where the fuck is Otis? Otis ain't in the room, and I'm like,
the cat's calling you like, I can't sleep now.
yeah. So I had
You wake up and the cat's next to you. You're like, oh,
yeah. I'm like, oh, I can go back to
big
sleep.
chillin'.
But like, so I had to be at work at 6 a.m. the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I was up at 3. Like I had a nightmare, and it was such a good. It was I'm gonna call it a good nightmare. It was such a good nightmare that I woke up and I was like, well, not going back to sleep. So I just got up and I made breakfast at 3 a.m.
God damn.
Yeah.
Living the life.
Yeah. Plenty of time on my hands. But I think, I don't know. I know that Kyle, my brother, he has very vivid dreams as well, and he has nightmares frequently too. And I was telling somebody about that. They're like, do you know, you think that's related to like childhood trauma? I was like, could be. I could have been diddled whenever I was little. I suppressed it, and I got no fucking,
Maybe you had an uncle.
Yeah, maybe my uncle fucked me on Hanukkah.
Yeah. Maybe. You go, maybe I'm just going to keep that repressed.
Yeah, I'll repress the fuck out of that.
Yeah, I'd rather have the nightmares.
But, yeah, I don't remember that. I'll have the nightmares. But, like, all my nightmares are, like, they revolve around, like, one thing, and it's all because of my upbringing.
Yeah.
Was raised super strict Catholic.
Uh-huh.
And to Catholics, nothing is more terrifying than being possessed.
Uh-huh.
And so every single one of my nightmares consists of some type of demon trying to, and more often than not, the dream takes place in my childhood house in Missouri.
Fuck that house, by the way.
And yeah, I'll let you get to that.
Yeah.
So I'll have a dream that I'm in the basement, and like I can just sense a presence, and I'm like,
is there a basement in that house?
Yeah, I took you to the basement.
Oh, I remember.
It's got the weight room in the basement?
Yep. Yeah, I remember the basement now. Fuck.
Yeah,
I do not want to remember the basement.
The cellar part?
I fucking hated that place.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So it's usually like me sensing something. I'm like, okay, this is a malevolent spirit, and it is my job. I take it upon myself every single fucking nightmare to basically cast this thing out. I do not know any prayer.
You just beat this
about
shit out of
exorcism. That's basically what it comes down to. Is like me, I'm gonna manhandle this demon.
Yeah.
And
come here, ephemeral spirit. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Is there ever like a demon, like a specific demon in your dreams that recurs, or
just none of them recur.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I can like clear as day. I can actually like remember certain ones.
Okay.
But none of them are recurring.
I mean, I don't really know a whole lot. Like, I got kicked out of Catholic school in like fucking 3rd grade.
Yeah.
I went no further than that.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so it'll be, I'll just have those nightmares, and they're just reoccurring. And at this point, like it's just something that I accept. I'm like, no, this is just going to happen forever. But what sucks is it's getting worse with age. Mm-hmm. I'm not that old. I think I have quite a few more years in front of me. If it just keeps getting worse, at some point I'm just going to be an insomniac. Like I'm just going to be like, well, no sleeping.
Maybe that's what happens with John.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, my stepdad.
When we were over there, he was up.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah. My stepdad, the dude doesn't sleep. He'll take like an hour nap in the afternoon.
Dude, you should ask him about that.
Dude, it's a house.
Maybe, dude.
So let me tell you this. Let me tell you this real quick. So I went a couple summers ago. I went and I crashed there for a bit, and I sleep in the upstairs. It's main floor upstairs, and then there's a basement, and I sleep upstairs. And my parents are cheap as fuck. This is where I get it. They're so cheap. They're like, we'll kind of turn on the AC, but, use your fan. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's hotter than fuck in my bedroom. It's a summer night. I'm sleeping. My fan turns off. And I'm like, oh, it's 1,000,000 goddamn degrees. What the fuck's going on? So I go and I check. I look at my phone. My phone's not charging. I try to turn the light. I'm like, oh my God, a power outage happened. Well, it was a thunderstorm. A thunderstorm was going on. Really strong winds and all that. And I was like, oh man, I bet the circuit breaker flipped.
In the basement, of course.
Yeah, it's in the basement.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, John's not here. Because John was out of town.
Uh-huh.
You best believe if John was there, I would have been like, I would have made a shit ton of noise. It would have woken John up, and he would have gone and done it. Mm-hmm. Like, it would have just been what John does. But I would have definitely skated out of this task. John wasn't there. I was not about to make my sweet, sweet mother go down to that basement.
Yeah.
So I was like, Ryan, you're a man, damn it.
How old were you?
I was like 26. 26, dude.
Yeah.
So, okay, motherfucker, you've been in that house.
Yeah.
So you're going to talk shit?
When I was 21, I got 5 more years. I got
Okay.
4 more years
Okay,
now.
well, let me explain. So you're about to go into that cellar, that cellar of a basement. It's thunderstorming, and there's no power.
Did you have a flashlight?
In the middle of the night. So I had my cell phone. So cell phones have flash.
Cell phone flashlight.
Yep. You feeling super confident at this point?
Was it the same shitty phone you
yeah,
have
it's
now?
the same shitty phone I got now.
Yeah, that has a shitty flashlight. I would not feel very confident.
Okay, so maybe think about it before you talk shit.
I'm just laughing at you because you are... It's one thing for me to be scared going down in there, but... Come on.
All right.
You?
Okay, hold on. You just made fun of me because I would fist fight and, I quote, an ethereal spirit.
No, I didn't make fun of you. I made a joke. I actually applaud it very well because I think I would just shit myself.
Yeah, it might, like, for sure. Like, I, like, swell up on that shit. So, I was like, okay, you got to do this. Mm-hmm. Your poor mother is sweating in that bedroom. There is no AC. And she's old, dude. She died of heat stroke.
Are you talking yourself up in a mirror before you do this? Or?
No, this is what I do. So I turn the flash onto my phone, the flashlight on, and I'm in like the hallway, like before I have to open up the basement to go to the door.
Was this the room just for me? I mean, no one listening will know, but which room were you in? The one Pearson was in, or the one I was in?
The one Pearson was in, because you were in the smaller room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pearson was
the one Pearson's in is a fucking scarier room, honestly.
That's my room.
Yikes.
Wait, was he down the hallway from you, or was it the next room?
When you
over?
went up the stairs, his was the last one on the right.
Yeah, okay, that's mine.
Yeah.
So, I was standing in front of the door before you get into the basement, and this is what I had to do in order to get this job done. I turned my flashlight on my phone, and I go to YouTube, and I pull up Annie Up by M.O.P. And if any of you guys don't know that song,
Annie Up, get that fool.
Annie Up, kidnap that fool. Get him, hit him, get him. So it's like a 2000s like rap song all about like if somebody owes you money, you fucking murder them. And so I was like, I was like, oh yeah. And so I'm literally going down the steps. And I'm my own hype man at this point because like my adrenaline's pumping. I got M.O.P. backing me up, and I'm like walking down the stairs going, "Oh, I fucking wish a demon would pop out. I fuck up a demon," and like going down the stairs like, "Yeah, bitch, you know." Go to the circuit breaker side, which is in that cellar kind of side. The super creepy side.
Yeah, that's deeper in.
Which is the side that I've had. I think 3 nightmares about. So I've already had multiple nightmares about this cellar, this area of the basement.
This is it.
And I was like, that's why I was like, I had to get super amped because I was like, had 1.5 million nightmares about this already. Great, this is it. This is what happens.
Yeah.
I get to the circuit breaker, flip that bitch on. Of course, then I have to test to see if the lights actually came back on, the power actually came back on. So like, there's a drawstring light.
Yeah.
That you pull, and it's like, bzz, 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 and like
that's when the jump scare happens.
right.
Yeah.
That's whenever you look around, you're like, huh.
Like,
and then
as,
it goes,
yeah,
like,
anyone that makes a movie goes, yep, here.
right there. Yep. And so, as soon as like, I'll be honest, on like that first buzz, it was like, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, worked. Off.
Oh, you think I turned that? You think I turned the only light source off?
Oh, you left it on?
I
just
left
like
that
all
bitch
night?
on and fucking sprinted upstairs.
Hell yeah.
And now, like, whenever I'm not scared of the dark anymore.
Uh-huh.
No, I was scared of the dark. Probably I was too old to be scared of it. And I always tell my family, I'm not scared of the fucking dark. I'm scared of what's possibly in the dark.
Yeah. What
The dark
pussies
does not
say.
scare me.
That's what pussies say, though.
The dark hides what's there.
We own the night, though.
Who?
We.
Okay. Like you and me?
Yeah.
How?
All right, never mind. You don't. I guess I own the night then, bitch.
Okay, all yours, dude.
Come on.
I own the day. You clearly don't see sunlight much.
Day man, fighter of the night man, champion of the sun.
Sun.
I don't remember that.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I from childhood to now, like possession has been like the number one fear. And I believe that for any person that is still in like the Catholic faith, like I don't really go to mass anymore. I go to Christian churches, but they still like that's your number one fear.
I feel like to even have a chance of going down in that cellar, I would have had to have gotten naked.
Do you think they would? What do you think? They're too honorable? They're like, it's like you wouldn't punch a guy with glasses. Would you?
It wouldn't be about their chances of attacking me. It would have had to have been about me becoming closer to a crackhead.
Oh right.
Because when you think about a crackhead has absolutely no fucking fear.
Oh, so you're like
At all.
you're like method acting in order to get into that
Yes,
headspace.
I don't know if it's just me or like people in general, but when I'm playing like that character, I can embody the traits a lot easier. So, in order to get down into that basement and flip that circuit, I would have stripped down completely fucking naked, all the way. No shirt, no underwear, no pants. I would have taken off my pajama bottoms because it's all I fucking wear to sleep. And Annie Up, what? I would have probably played a song too. I don't know if I would have chosen Annie Up. I'm trying to think here.
So at that time, like I just discovered that song.
Okay, so that was on your playlist.
Yeah, it was already like it was in my queues, and so I was just like, but at that time, that song was getting me fucking amped.
Yeah,
like I would put that song on and be like, okay, I'm gonna go do a 1 rep max on deadlift or squat. I put that song on.
I got the song.
Hit me.
I would have had to play. I'm gonna have to say it. I hate to say it, but I would have had to play Goofy Goober Rock. That is
okay. So that is for a different like headspace.
Yep.
So that would be like the equivalent of playing like something silly. That way you can put yourself into kind of a more jovial.
Okay, normally, but that song has a different connotation with me. It holds a different place in my head.
Go ahead.
My highest 1 rep max on overhead press I've ever hit was 2 Goofy Goober Rock. So it holds a different place in my head and heart. I feel like that would have gotten me amped enough to like, fuck it, dude, demon come at me. I'll press you up over my head. What then, bitch?
What was the press? How much was it?
I believe it was, I think it was body weight. So it was, no, it was 20 pounds over body weight. It was 185.
So you better hope that demon does not weigh over 185.
Yeah, but at that time, like overhead pressing, I could probably punch the fuck out of that because I was benching 225 when I weighed 160 at that point.
That's pretty good.
I could punch the fuck out of it if it was adequately sized to me.
Right. Yeah, the appropriate size demon for you.
Yeah. If this was a 6-foot demon, I would have had to like get someone who was a little bit taller than me.
Yeah.
In there.
I think that's like in the demon code. They're like, how big is he? He's pretty average. Okay, great. Send that 5'8" guy in. Send the 5'8" demon. Well, in your case, to send the 4'3" demon.
Yeah, they sent a 3'9" demon in to get me, and I had my work cut out.
Yeah, I mean, you got to respect them. Honor code.
It is honorable, but I don't fight honorable, so I have that over demons. Like, I would have grabbed the demon's hair, I would have kicked him in the balls, and would have thrown sand in his eyes and poked his eyeballs.
Yeah,
and
pocket
shit.
sand.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I told you about, like, some experiences that I had in that house that I live in, or that my parents live in, the house that I grew up in. McKee, do you have any stories of that house?
I do. I have one.
Go ahead.
I do have one. So this was when we were in Pensacola together in Corey Station. We had a '96, basically a 4-day weekend. We went up to myself, Restemeyer, and Pearson went up to Restemeyer's childhood home, and we stayed there for the weekend. And we were going to move some shit back down to Pensacola, so we were driving back. We flew up there. And I get there, and we're sleeping, and I'm sleeping in.
So to preface his story,
Please.
like, I had already told him.
No, you didn't tell me until we got at the house.
Right.
And I was sleeping there, and there was no way I wasn't sleeping there.
Yeah.
So we get there, and Rustmeyer and Char are sleeping in this trailer outside. How fucking convenient. Not in the
Missouri,
actual house.
baby.
They have their own little trailer.
It's a nice ass trailer, though.
Yeah, it was nice. We went in there. We had some Jello shots before I went to bed.
Yep.
And he tells me the story of I'm sure you can tell it better than me, but effectively an eye doctor that used to live there.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe you remember that. Yeah.
That haunts the fucking house.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're pissing in the upstairs bathroom, there's a mirror that's to your right in front of you, and you can see him walk by in the door if you have the door open. So every time I pissed in that fucking bathroom, I looked down and to the left. Every fucking time I pissed. And, like, sometimes I just get on the toilet seat and I just wipe it off with toilet paper. I said, I don't give a fuck. I'm not looking towards that mirror.
Do you remember the eye doctor's name?
I don't remember his name, though. What was it?
His name is Doc Lannon.
Doc Lannon.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy that you remember that much, though.
Yeah, well, it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And so he tells me this, and he's like, okay, well, y'all can go to bed now. Like an hour after the story, maybe. He's like, we're going to go to bed now.
Yep.
So we go up, and Pearson is in Restemeyer's old room.
Mm-hmm.
And was I in Kyle's room?
Yeah, you were in Kyle's old room.
Yeah, and so we go to sleep. Turn the lights off, close the door, whatever. And I had read that book, a little bit of that book that you were telling me about, of the guy who goes to hell.
Oh, you weren't reading that book, were you?
Yeah, I was reading that book.
Oh, dude, that book gave me nightmares.
You told me.
Shouldn't have read that.
So I read like maybe 2 chapters of that book, but I was like, I'm gonna go to bed.
Was it 23 minutes in hell or a divine revelation of hell?
I
I've got 2 books.
It was 23 minutes in hell.
Yeah, that one's creepy.
So after reading that book, lights off, I close the door, go to bed. And I roll over and my back is facing towards the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm laying there. It usually takes me an hour and a half to go to sleep. I have no time frame if that is a long time or not. But I know some people just fucking hit the pillow and they're asleep.
Right.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I've got that quality in me. It's awesome.
It takes a while for me to go to sleep. So I'm laying there and I hear footsteps come down the hall, and someone else was staying in the house, right?
Yeah. So my niece lives with my my mom and stepdad. So it was my niece Allison.
So I had seen her walk through. I don't think I had talked to her at this point, but I assumed it was just her walking down.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And no, sorry, before this, Pearson had come in. So I hear the footsteps come down and knock on the door, and Pearson opens the door, and he's like, I just forgot something because I had my backpack, and he had some
stuff in your backpack?
something in my backpack.
Right.
So he got it and left. Closed the door, lights back off. So maybe 20, 30 minutes later,
mm-hmm.
I hear the footsteps come down again. and there's no knock on the door, but I hear the door open. And then I hear footsteps up to that backpack again. Like Pearson was.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought, Pearson getting something again.
Right.
But he didn't say anything. So I don't hear footsteps leave. So I'm like, I don't hear anything moving in the backpack. So I'm like, what the fuck's he doing? Turn on the lamp, roll over. Nothing there. Door's open.
Yep.
I go, all right. Okay, motherfucker. Walk my ass straight over.
You go, okay, motherfucker.
Yep.
Beep. I'm a goofy goober.
All right, bitch. I throw off my pants immediately. I go, let's do this. Yeah. I'm a goofy goober. No, I immediately fast walk like a bitch to the room that Pearson is in. And I tell him what happened. I go, were you just in there? He goes, no. I go, are you serious? Are you fucking with me? Are you fucking with me even a little bit right now? He goes, no. Like he was asleep when I went in the room. Up. And I go, all right, I'm sleeping in here tonight. And he goes, okay.
Right.
He was like, I could tell he was like, come on, man. But he understood.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, that happened to me. I'd be the same thing. So I slept in that room for the rest of the night. And the rest of the time we were there, I drank enough to where you would have to shake me to wake me up.
Yeah.
That's how I slept in that room the remainder of the nights.
Yeah, you got pretty hammered. Yeah, I remember there was only... Because growing up in that house, so whenever we first moved to that house, Kyle and I lived in the basement.
Yeah.
In the weight room.
Okay.
Is where we used to live. And then as my two older sisters graduated high school and went off to college, we moved upstairs. Because there was space for us there. And there was only once that I was too scared to go sleep in a bed by myself. So we would, around Christmas time, all of us would come home from like college or whatever around the same time.
Yeah.
And so only so many rooms, and it just kind of like boils down to who's the favorite. Well, I guess I drew like the short straw and like being the favorite child because
that's surprising. No. I
No.
don't know everyone in your family,
Right.
but just knowing you, that's surprising.
So what you find charming is what they've had to put up with my entire life.
Okay, yeah, I believe that it does.
Right, it gets old. So
Yeah.
so I was talking to my brother about.
But you do make, for the record, you make great first impressions. It's just like knowing you forever. It's like
right. So
sometimes I can be like, come on, man.
So I was actually talking to Kyle, my brother, about the podcast last week. And he was like, oh, dude, like McKee is so funny. McKee's hilarious. And which is true. I think you are funny.
It's my only quality.
And there's no denying it. I think your timing is like, that's why we became friends, because you were saying funny stuff whenever we were first really around each other. Yeah, not all the time, but
Just
okay,
every day.
pump the brakes. So Kyle was like, Kyle goes, I'm sure that you're being funny too. He's like, but I've been around you my entire life.
I hate you.
Yeah. He's like, but I'll never forget whenever you stole Sarah from me.
I moved to California for a reason.
Yeah. But he's like, I'm sure you're being funny, but I've grown up around you my entire life. So like I'm used to it.
Yeah.
It's like you eat chocolate cake every day, and chocolate cake doesn't taste as good anymore. It's kind of one of those things. Like you get used to it. So my family's kind of over, like they got over like my personality.
Your novelty.
So yeah, and like as far as like my 4 immediate siblings go, Kyle and I are very similar. He's probably a little bit more quiet than I am.
So Kyle would make fun of me 24/7 too then.
So Kyle actually told me, he's like, I listened to the podcast, but like you're a bully. Called me a bully because I bully you.
You are a bully, you fuck.
And he goes, I can't be mad at you though, because he's got a buddy that he met in the Marine Corps. His buddy's name is Daly.
Yeah.
And he's like, I treat Daly the exact same way that you treat McKee. So we just have like punching bags follow us around. And so,
well, it's funny though. If you were just bullying me like to be mean, I wouldn't be here.
right.
But it's like a funny back and forth, so
Yeah.
I don't fucking care.
Yeah. Like McKee will get the best of me quite a bit. It's just like not on air because it's in our contract.
And he'll never admit when I get the best of him. He'll be like, no, shut up, ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you beat me in an argument whenever I just resort to name calling.
Yeah. I'll have like an actual point, and he'll just be like, so you're stupid, huh?
No. Or I'll mock you.
Yeah.
Like I'll do an impression.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm McKee. I'm so smart. Yeah, fuck you.
So what you're saying is, that's how I know I win. That I check it off in the books then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, so my brother, very similar, a little bit more quiet than me. At least that's what my mom says. My oldest sister she's a doctor, super intelligent. What a spaz.
Took it all from you.
What a spaz. Yeah. So like my two oldest sisters,
Yeah.
like they stole all the brains.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah. Just like sapped all of that shit. Which is super frustrating because like the brain boat like just sailed off without me and my brother. Luckily, they took all the brains.
You got the average penis.
Yep, they left the average penis.
Yep.
So thank God. If it was below average, I'd be upset.
They took the brain and the penis.
Yep, my sister's packing. So, but they left the athletic ability too. So like, that was kind of what me and my brother had going for us.
Yeah.
But my second sister is the loudest one out of all of us. If you can imagine, like,
I don't think I've ever heard you talk about her. I know you've spoken to me about. Wait, there's a doctor and a lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. You have spoke about.
Yeah, the louder one's the lawyer, which you can imagine her being a lawyer is probably perfect. If she's louder than me.
You get the phone.
Yeah. Let me tell this story real quick because, like, even though I'm calling my second oldest sister's name is Courtney, even though I'm calling her loud and she can be like bombastic and like really off-putting at times, she is also the number one person to have in your corner. So I broke my phone and I went into AT&T or whatever. I was like, hey, I need a new phone. But I called Courtney because we're on the same phone plan. I said, Courtney, I need a new phone. She said, oh, that's fine. Like, us as a group have an update, so you should be able to update to a new phone. No problem.
Yeah.
So I go into the store. I go, hey, I got an update. I need a new phone. And the guy's like, oh, well, actually, the deal that's going on right now is you have to pay this much for this and this and that and the other. And at the time, I had a burner phone that I just put my SIM card in so that I could still make phone calls. And so I called Courtney while I'm in the store, and I was like, this guy's saying this. He says that I have to pay this much for this. And she's like, oh, absolutely not. She goes, hand him the phone. And I just like pulled the phone away from my head, and I looked at the guy and I go, I'm so sorry. And I handed him the phone. He's like, hey, this is Hank from AT&T. How can I help you? And I just hear like a blast of noise coming from the phone. And he's just like, oh, okay. And
he goes, hold on. Pulls off his pants.
Yeah. Starts spanking himself.
And he goes, all right, bitch, this isn't going to happen.
Yeah. So he goes, okay, all right. That sounds good to me. Hands me back the phone. I was like, Courtney? And she goes, it's taken care of. I was like, okay. She goes, if anything else happens, call me. I was like, all right. I hung up. I like looked at him and goes, sir, let me show you our new Galaxy S7s. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? So Courtney is just, she's unbelievable.
So that's how you got this phone. You still have it. Holy shit.
That's this phone.
Was this like 17 years ago?
No, it was 3? 2007.
No way. It has to be more.
It's 4. 4 years ago, yeah.
Damn, 4 years?
Yeah.
How long? Well, yeah, I've had my phone for about almost
2. Yeah, I took you to get it.
Yeah, I'll buy that. Yeah, I'll buy that story.
But so all of us came back. I got short into the stick. I got sent to the basement, sleep in the basement, Now, was there a bed in the basement whenever you came and visited?
No, it was just like a weight bench.
No, not in that room. In the room with the staircase. I can't remember if there's...
Maybe.
Okay, so
I don't
anyway,
remember.
there used to be one down there. So I remember I was up in Kyle's room with Kyle.
Yeah.
And we're like, dude, let's watch a movie. And we're like, okay. I'm like, bro, I love scary movies. And he's like, he was just getting into scary movies because he used to be terrified of them, but he loves them now.
Yeah.
So I was like, bro, this movie called The Conjuring is so scary.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, oh, I've seen that movie. Yeah, let's watch it. So we watched The Conjuring. Scared shitless. It's a scary ass movie. No matter how many times you've seen it, it's just such a good movie. And the movie ended, and Kyle like closed his laptop, and he's like, all right, man, I'm gonna head to bed. And I was like, yep. And he was like, go ahead. I was like,
You go, anyone on the couch tonight?
no, that didn't even cross my mind. I didn't want to leave the room.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, yeah, man, I'm sleeping. He was like, bro, because like, you know how big that bed is you were sleeping in? It's like a twin. A little bit. It's like a twin XL.
Yeah.
It's not very big. I was like, and both of us were in our 20s.
Yeah. 9'3".
Yeah. And so he was like, bro, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, man, let me sleep in this. I'm sleeping in this fucking bed tonight. He's like, okay. But like, that's what, I was not about to go into that basement and sleep there for the night. You
Yeah.
gotta be fucking kidding me. Hell no. Even walking in that hallway at night is creepy.
Yeah.
Do you have besides like staying at my house, you got any like ghost stories? Anything that happened to you?
Somewhat ghost adjacent, but not like I'd never had any encounter with it. But my uncle, who
Fucked you when you were 7?
no, the other uncle,
Oh, okay.
which I call him uncle. He's my great uncle, which he's died since then. He died like fucking before I enlisted.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
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 R.I.P. We just killed. He had a lake house down on Lake Texoma, which is on the Oklahoma-Texas border. And it was about maybe 15 minutes from the lake. And he had a couple acres there. I have no, like, acreage scale has no, like, it means nothing to me to say, oh, that's 20 acres. I'm like, cool.
Like, massive, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But he had this good plot of land down there, and there was this Indian burial site on it. I don't want to say.
Of course it was. That's why I said they're fucking disgusting savages.
Yep.
Hate them. Go ahead.
Wait, continue. I don't get it. Continue.
Last week on the pod, I straight up was like, "Hey, Mickey, you've got Native American disgusting fucking savage blood in you."
Oh, why I'm a disgusting savage?
Yeah, you are, but all Native Americans.
Because they have graveyards?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway. I don't want to say it was a graveyard because it was a single grave. I don't know if more was there or less. What? I don't know. But there was this little spot towards the back of the plot of land that had this grave on it. And it was like something like 18 something something to 19 something something. Like end of that century to the beginning of, or like beginning to whatever of the 1900s. And it was so faded you couldn't really, like, I couldn't read parts of it. I just saw the date, and I guess it was 18 because even that part was like really faded. And they mowed the whole thing. Nowhere around that. Within 10 feet of it, never mowed. It was grown up. You had to push the grasses to the side to get in to see the graveyard.
And they did that intentionally? Like they're just
they did it. No one fucks with that shit. Like, believe it or not, why invite it?
Right.
So 10 yards.
Like don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like why even try it? Like it's less of the lawn you have to mow. Like, why complain?
Okay.
So I've only seen it once.
Lazy savages.
Don't
want to mow all the grass.
Yeah. I've only seen it once because I've never felt the desire to go back and look at it again. But I went, and you have to like.
So whenever you're saying this is like a headstone, is it like your typical like tombstone looking?
It's like stone, but when you think of like a Wild West tombstone,
Right.
like
Okay.
it's just like
Just the arch.
very primitive arch.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. And I went in. You have to walk in like 4 or 5 feet, like through this grass, and you have to push out of the way to see it. Saw it, read it, said, I'm never gonna fuck with that, and left. Never saw it again, and nothing happened to me there. But
That was your close encounter?
that's what I said. It was adjacent.
That wasn't even fucking close. That was like me saying I walked into a graveyard one time. End of story. Boy, you really let me down, Mickey. You fucking let me down.
What do you want me to lie?
Not only did you let me down. No. Not only did you let me down, you let our viewers down.
God.
I hope you guys leave a message in the comments. McKee half-asses stuff.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Kyle and Char. Don't just
Maybe Matthews. I think Matthews might listen.
Well, if Matthews is hearing this, don't listen. I hear what he's saying, but don't do that. Leave a comment that says "fuck you, Ryan, you piece of shit, fuck you," comma, space, fuck you, and I think that'll really show him that I half-assed that story, but still, fuck you.
All right.
Anyway, do you have any more ghost stories?
Nope. I'm just kidding.
Mm-hmm. That was a good. Wow, that was a good joke.
Yeah, dude. See how I half-assed that? You see what it's like to work with somebody that only half-asses stuff?
Only half-asses stuff.
Or you haven't whole-assed anything in your life. The only thing that
I whole-assed that first ghost story.
Yeah, you did. You actually did a really good job. I actually got a little creeped out. And I already knew that story.
That's what I don't have any. That was the first time anything fucking relatively paranormal, whether it was or not,
Really?
happened to me.
Damn, dude. You lived a really privileged life whenever it comes to like ghosts and shit.
Yeah,
Like everybody's got at least a few, right?
I don't fuck with ghosts, so why would they fuck
Not
with
me
me?
neither, dude.
Man, you just live in a fucking haunted ass house. It never happened.
It's an old house.
Yeah, exactly. The house that I lived in was built in like the 70s. Like nothing's haunting that shit.
Right. I will say this though, I had next door neighbors. They didn't live next door to me. They're across the way. It was one of my really good buddies lived there, and I remember I walked into his house, and they had like a game room, kind of like the man cave, quote unquote man cave kind of place, and that's where the kids hung out. And I walked in, and sitting on their pool table was a Ouija board.
Yeah.
And I said, And I looked him in the eyes and I said, this shit invites spirits that you don't want. Have you played with this? And they're like, well, we kind of screwed around with it a little. And I said, not anymore. And I opened up the back door and I chucked this bitch. Chucked it clear into the woods. Do you know like what they say about like Ouija boards? How whenever you bring one into your home, it's impossible to get rid of it.
No, I've never heard that.
So that's like one of like the folklore of Ouija boards is
That
if you try to burn it.
Hasbro Ouija boards.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Dude, they sell those in the kids section, what blows my mind.
Yeah, it's a toy company.
It blows my mind that they sell those things.
Don't they make the gummy bears too, or is that a different?
That's Harborough,
Oh,
I think. Yeah.
Hasbro, Harborough. What's the
You're
difference?
close.
Hmm.
So, I chucked that Ouija board, but if you burn a Ouija board, if you throw it out, whatever, somehow it's supposed to return back into your house. So, I leave. I hung out for a bit. I left. I did my good deed as a Catholic. I got that evil out of the house.
Mm.
Come back in the next day because we were always over at his house. His house was like the place to hang.
Yeah.
Went back over. Sure as shit, that Ouija board is laying on the kitchen table. And I was like, what the fuck? I just threw this. I threw this out. I threw this into the woods.
Did you ask him about it?
His dad,
Yeah.
his name's Randy. I was like, Randy, what the fuck? What is this? He goes, yeah, damn this thing. I was walking through the woods trying to pick up kindling so I could start a fire. I found that laying out in the woods. I brought it in. I was like, oh my God. I was like, we're never going to be able to get rid of this. This is the curse. And they said that, like, because I guess one night whenever I was there, they're like, let's bring out the Ouija board, play with it. I was like, I'm gone. Like, I'll see you guys. Like, it's not my thing. Like, I love hanging out with you guys, but, like, that's just not for me. And they said that, like, lights flickered while they were doing it or something. I don't know if they were pulling my leg, but it's just nothing that I'm interested in and something that I will never do.
Yeah. Well, I think you know what we got to do for episode 3 then.
I won't. That's something that I will never do.
Do you think if I did it like on your porch, like while you were asleep and you didn't notice, it'd be close enough to bring ghosts into your house?
Can you do it with only one person?
I don't know.
I don't know the rules of Ouija board.
I've never fucked with the Ouija board.
You know what? We got the fucking internet.
You know, pull up the Ouija board official rules.
Yeah. The Ouija board handbook. I know that you spell it super weird. It's like O-I...
O-U-I-J-A.
Yeah.
Possibly.
O-U-I... Yeah.
Was I correct?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm taking it in the book. That's an argument 1.
So Ouija board rules.
I wonder if they have different editions, like it changed with time.
First thing that popped up is Ouija board rules in Hindi.
Hindi?
What? I guess a lot of fucking Indian people are using...
Is that Indian or Arabic?
That's Indian.
Huh.
Yeah.
That does not seem like the demographic that would be fucking with Ouija boards.
Oh, this article, first thing it says. The title is How Ouija Boards Work. Hint, it's not a ghost. Great title, asshole. The subtitle is No, demons will not possess you if you use one. Get the fuck out of here. You know
demon wrote that.
A demon wrote this.
A demon wrote that. Yeah, dude, it's perfectly fine. Just do it.
Yeah.
Demon wrote that.
Written by Aja Romano. Sounds like a demon.
Yep. Sounds like a demon to me. Romano? Yep. Demon name.
It's that time of year again. The season when paranormal entities come out to play. Apparently, they can only come out on certain times of the year.
What time did he write this?
September 6th.
Close to Halloween.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Ouija boards. I don't know how the fuck you can say this like definitively. Ouija boards won't actually put you in contact with demons or spirits. How can you say that definitively?
Yeah, how can you prove that?
I don't know how. What a fucking...
I think this is hearsay. You should get your sister. Fucking.
Yeah,
call this guy up.
I might sue Raja.
I think you got a case on your hands.
Ouija boards rely on the power of your own body.
Now,
with a group or by yourself, I guess you can do it by yourself.
You can do it by yourself. Okay, so I'm going to invite demons into your house.
Well, don't do that. I'm reading these rules, man.
Are there actual rules?
Yeah, so apparently, I'm not reading the article right now, but apparently there's something you have to say, like almost like chant whenever you start the Ouija board ceremony. And you have to like draw so many circles on the board, and then whenever you finish whatever spiritual bullshit you're doing, you have to move the triangle, that dial that you move.
Yep.
That your hands are on, you have to move it to goodbye. That way it closes out any spirits that you have talked with.
Yeah.
If you have to end the ceremony properly.
It's the Finn flag being sent.
Yeah. Yep.
In your TCP dialogue.
Do you want to explain that to anybody?
No.
Okay, because literally just me would understand that.
Yeah, so yeah, you know what? While you read those fucking rules, I got time to bore everyone.
Yeah, hit them with that.
So TCP is a internet protocol for data transmission. So it is basically a rule frame that data follows when traveling through the internet from you to a website or vice versa, whatever. There is a certain protocol followed to send the data. It's called a TCP handshake where it's like whoever opens the connection sends a SYN, the signature bit, followed by a SYNAC, correct?
SYN, SYNAC, ACK.
ACK.
Yeah.
SYN, and then so SYN is sent by the person who opens the connection. SYNAC is sent by the person who receives the connection if all of the rules are met and they're trying to connect to send the data. And then the ACK is sent by the original sender to acknowledge that they also got the SYN and they're sending it back to the right person so the data can commence. FIN is sent as they bit to end the conversation. It's like FIN,
Yeah,
like, we're
it's
done.
to close the connection.
We're done. That's what it was.
Yeah, so if anybody's still listening, Ouija board, yeah, you'll have to hit goodbye whenever you're calling it to make sure that you check out. It says, this article on a website called Scary Mommy. Ooh.
.com? .gov?
.com.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't think this is a government website.
Man can wish.
It says, don't use it alone. You could if you really wanted to, but it's best not to.
Have you ever done...
Provided you believe you're connecting to spirits, it's a better idea to call them with a group of people as it provides a grounding effect.
Yep.
Plus, it's less spooky.
Yeah, you got to ground your radio.
Yep. Don't use it in a graveyard. Just don't.
Okay. Have you ever done Bloody Mary?
So I remember my sisters, I think, did it. It was during the summer. It was midday, and they did it in the bathroom. Not in the house that you went to. It was whenever we were younger.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think anything bad happened. They probably tried to sell me something that something scary happened, but I don't think anything scary happened.
But you've never done it.
Hell no, dude. I'm
Failure of interest, or you're scared?
Scared. 100%. If there's, I'm telling you, man. For somebody that has as many nightmares as I do, you think I'm willing to just like venture out and like, I wonder if this works, bro. You sleep 1/3 of your life. Roughly 1/3 of that life is covered with nightmares. You think I'm willing to invite the other 2/3 of my life with scary shit?
That's true. I've been having more nightmares recently as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, they've been having me... I have to sleep on my back now after the surgery so that my arm can lay straight.
Right.
It's supposed to keep the nerve from recompressing.
Mm-hmm.
And I always sleep like on my fucking side or on my face to make me look uglier.
Mm-hmm. You're doing a great job of it.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Thanks.
Mission accomplished.
I don't get that enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just really like my face to look tired and old, so I sleep on my side and down on my stomach. But they're having me sleep on my back, and every time I sleep on my back, well, I don't want to say every time, but certainly more often, when I sleep on my back, I have nightmares. And the only time I've ever had sleep paralysis, I don't know if you've ever had that.
Never.
Always on my back. It has never happened in any position where I'm not on my back.
No.
I've only had it happen like two or three times. No, 3 times.
I've had people explain sleep paralysis to me. Never happened. I've never experienced it. But what I gather is that you wake up, like your eyes are there, your mind is there.
Yes.
But you can't move your body.
Correct.
Now, I don't know if you remember this guy. He went through JCAC with us. He's in the Marine Corps as well. We knew him as Sergeant Cologne, but he's Staff Sergeant Cologne. Give him a round of applause. Give him one kill. There you go. Yep.
Congrats.
So he, I guess, experiences sleep paralysis quite frequently.
Really?
But he says it's only whenever he sleeps on his back as well. And so he started researching it because he was like, dude, I was tired of getting stuck in that. I guess whenever you experience sleep paralysis, what you need to do instead of trying, because people try to jerk their bodies, move their bodies violently to try to get out of that paralysis.
Yeah.
What you focus on is moving the smallest little bit of your body that you can. So think about your pinky, and you try to move your pinky. And if your pinky can move, your hand follows, your arm follows, your torso follows, your body follows.
So it's like a slower process.
But it's a quicker process than trying to jerk
Yeah.
out all at once.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that you'd be. I mean, it sounds to me like you don't experience it too often.
No, I've only had it happen 3 times in my entire life.
Did you? Because I see like things on the internet that you see shit whenever you're in sleep paralysis. You ever see anything?
I did one time for sure, and maybe the second time. The second time was kind of
Would you see the one time for sure?
This was the second time I ever had it that I for sure saw it. And this was back when, before I enlisted, I was at home and I was visiting from college, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I lived at the dorms at this point, but I would come home some weekends just to, like, use their shower and whatever, because the bathrooms are a lot better. We had these like communal bathrooms in the dorms.
Yeah, we had the same.
Yeah, and the dorms were like, I lived in the shittiest, like, cheapest dorms.
Right.
I always smelled like weed, and like you couldn't do anything there because it was always fucking loud.
Yeah.
So I'd go home every once in a while, like, just to do a project and like get a good shower.
Yeah. Get away.
Like reset.
Mm-hmm.
And I slept there. And I woke up to where, like, you can kind of feel it's like slower waking up. It's not like, at least for me, it wasn't like all at once waking up like how you usually do.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm just here now. It's like you fade into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on my back. And I could see the bed frame of the bed I was sleeping on. And this,
Wait, what do you mean you see the bed frame? Like where your feet were at?
Like, yeah, where my feet were at, but there's like a little wooden post that sticks up like a little bit past the mattress.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I could see that. And I don't know how long this was in like an actual time,
Mm-hmm.
but this felt like it took place over like 2.5 hours.
God damn.
And for like maybe 10, 15 minutes, I'm just there. Like, I could never get out of these when I've had them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd do the jerking thing after a while because it's like whatever. If nothing's happening, I kind of just laid there and like just maybe this will go away.
Right.
And I start to see fingers come up on that.
Bro, I just got the chills so fucking bad.
Yeah, I did too.
Holy fuck. Good.
So it was like it was dark. Like, it looked like just a black fingers. Like my hand, but everything's black, like matte black. There's no pigment, no shine.
Uh-huh.
Crawl up onto the bed, or that bed frame.
Yeah.
Wrap around and grab it. Like you're hanging on like a pull-up bar or something.
Yeah.
And slowly, the shape of a head. This is over the course.
Now,
Yep.
it's in dimension-wise, it's humanoid?
It looks humanoid.
Okay.
But it's so dark that, like, the room's dark too. I can't really see shit.
Yeah.
It, like, normally if I was, like, awake, my eyes would be adjusted enough to where I could make out shit better.
Right.
I don't know if it's part of, like, the dream that makes it darker or what. But it's this humanoid head starts inching up. And I don't see any eyes. It gets to the point where it's its neck. And I can see the top of its shoulders down to about...
Like the collarbone?
Yeah, maybe collarbone. Over the course of the end of it. At the end, before I wake up, it opens its, like, quote-unquote eyes. And it's just these white holes. And then I wake up.
Wait, you wake up or you jerk out of it? You get out of sleep paralysis?
Yeah, the equivalent of, like, the wake up thing.
So you pulled out of the sleep paralysis, and where are you at mentally? Because I imagine that would fuck my world up.
I'm in the bathroom for the next probably 30 minutes. 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Washed my face a couple times. Sat on the toilet. Just had the lights on.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the sun was coming up by the time I fell back asleep.
Right.
But
just a little something, just enough to comfort you.
Yeah.
So, you know how people have, like encounters with aliens where they claim to be abducted from their bedroom.
Yeah.
Scientists are believing that that is sleep paralysis, and people aren't able to decipher between
Like they can't rationalize it as that.
between sleep paralysis and this actually happened to me. So they'll be like, I saw a bunch of small gray men in my room. Sleep paralysis kicking in, your mind isn't functioning quite like it should, and they don't rationalize it as, oh, I was asleep, or this weird cognitive function was happening to me.
Yeah.
That was real. Those were aliens in my room. And so they go on and tell everybody about the aliens that abducted them and all this shit, and it's just their minds playing tricks.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Well, UFO believers get fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. Homie saw an alien at the foot of his bed. You don't see him fucking running to the local news and
written off completely. Every UFO? Fake.
No, I don't know about that. I mean, the Pentagon just released.
Yeah, have you seen the shit about that Navy pilot that saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
So you know what like happens to those guys, right?
What?
So whenever those guys had seen that stuff, because like it wasn't just this Navy pilot. There are encounters from like back in like the 50s, 60s.
Do you think that's like actual alien shit though, or just like top secret tech from other militaries?
It's hard to say, but I know what happens to those pilots. So those pilots, they see that stuff, and they report on it.
Yeah.
They go to their chain of command, and they're like, we saw some shit out there we ain't never seen in our lives. And the chain of command, if they're in the know, or if they're, or they run it up even higher, essentially they get word and they run it back to those pilots and they say, you don't tell anybody about what you just saw.
So it eventually gets up to someone in the know, whether aliens or other militaries' top secret tech, and then it's like, well, this is one or the other, and both of them are probably very highly classified, so shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to know what you just saw, and you will never talk about it again. So I don't know how it's been unclassed. I don't know what caused it to be unclassed at this time, but like all those people that have been like bottling that shit up in them for decades,
which
all those
it
guys
hasn't
are
even
so
been
relieved.
70 years since that incident happened, right? So it wasn't unclassed due to time, correct?
I don't know what the
it's usually like 70 years, right, or something before
right.
they reevaluate.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Well, they're constantly under reevaluation.
Really?
Yeah, TS stuff. Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
So I don't know what caused them now to be like, this is good for public consumption. Like, I don't know if it ever is. I don't know if like releasing that information is ever good for the public.
Yeah.
Because like there's a saying, and like pulling like sensible quotes from movies, I think is a dumb thing to do.
But you're gonna do it.
I'm about to do it because I think this one's actually true.
Please go ahead.
A person is smart. People are stupid. That comes from the Men in Black.
Okay.
Which I think is true. You can sit down and, for the most part, speak rationally to anybody. And they, for the most part, majority of people will be able to comprehend what you're saying and then take it at face value.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you get that mob mentality and you get people together, that's when chaos starts to ensue. So, like, let's say some fucking farmer in Iowa.
Yeah.
An asteroid comes and fucking lands by him. Just one person. They go, holy shit! And they run up on that asteroid. Now, if that shit lands in a major city where it's heavily populated, those people go fucking nuts. They lose their goddamn minds. And an example of that is we had we have a fair in my hometown. A pretty big fair.
Yep.
Every summer.
State level or just?
So it's not like the state fair. It doesn't say the state fair.
Okay,
I think it's like the county fair. But it's a pretty big fair, and people show up from all over the state, come to this fair.
Yeah.
And the tornado siren started going off in our town. A tornado was coming. Well, anybody that's by themselves goes, "Oh, a tornado's coming. All right, well, time to go to my car. I'll drive home, or I'll go someplace, whatever. I'll seek shelter someplace." Pretty rational thought.
Yeah.
You got a group of people together, that fair burnt to the fucking ground. People were going to like public restrooms, and like, no shit, I'm like walking by and I'm seeing this woman taking her infant and like, "Please take my baby, like hide my baby in this bathroom."
Really?
I was like, what in the world is going on?
Does Missouri get a lot of tornadoes?
Yeah, we get quite a few.
Okay.
We're not quite to the level of Oklahoma. Okay. Oklahoma gets thrashed.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Missouri
if
gets
tornado
smoked.
warning goes off, it's another fucking day.
Yeah. But for the most part, I want to say it was probably like city folk. They were losing their mind.
Yeah.
Because all the country people were like, well, I'm going to drive 15 minutes to my house and watch this tornado from my porch while I drink a Bud Light.
We got to the point where we'd go out and chase them sometimes.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah, but people were like, even if they're like, "This is a big one, get underground or you will die." Like, Grandpa, like, fuck it, I'll die in this home.
Yeah.
I lived here for how many years?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to die, I'll die here in my home.
Yeah.
So I'm not dying in a hole.
Yeah.
And
like a coward.
We just be like, okay. I don't know. You get used to them after a point if they happen enough.
I know that. So, Shar she's Australian, and she told me that her dad used to watch World's Wildest Weather, like some fucking countdown show or whatever.
Yeah.
And it would show like tornadoes. Well, tornadoes are exclusively a North American thing.
Really? They don't happen anywhere else?
No. I didn't know that.
Huh.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
I had no fucking clue.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Tarnation. And so her dad would watch this countdown and it'd be like, number 5, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Yeah, the F5 would come through.
Yeah. And so her dad was like, I'm not going to try to do an Australian accent, but I'll do it.
Oi, mate. Who the fuck would stay up during that?
Yeah, what bloody cunt would stay there during a tornado?
Honey, get me my tall boy.
Yeah.
I've seen these American blokes get fucked by wind.
Yeah. So he's like, who the fuck would live there? Well, come to find out, his daughter ended up marrying somebody that lived there. And so she is damn near obsessed with seeing a tornado with her eyes. Which
they're pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never actually seen one touch down. I've seen funnels.
I wasn't young enough to remember that F5, but the F5 that's on all those lists I was there for. I was like...
What year?
I don't remember the year, but I was young, like 2 to 5 maybe.
Mm-hmm. I know that like Joplin, Missouri in 2011 got leveled. The town was no longer there.
I remember going up there for a family reunion not soon after that happened.
Yeah,
we drove through town. It was fucked.
Yeah, there was nothing in that town left. Wild. But yeah,
what was that folklore? The guy who lassoed the tornado. Do you remember that?
Was that John Henry?
Maybe.
Do you know who John Henry is?
Maybe.
Okay.
I might know. If he's the guy who lassoed the tornado, then I know.
I think he was John Henry.
I remember Paul Bunyan cut down the trees.
Yeah, Paul Bunyan. So John Henry is essentially the African American equivalent to Paul Bunyan.
Huh. The only African American folk tale hero I remember is the guy who beat the train machine.
What do you think his name is?
Is that John Henry?
That's John Henry.
All right, I know who John Henry is.
Okay.
He did not lasso the tornado. That's a different guy.
That's a different guy?
Yeah, there's a different guy that
I'm on it.
Please, because I know nothing to the story other than he lassoed a tornado. And
Who lassoed a tornado? That was Pecos Bill, baby.
Pecos Bill. Yep,
Pecos
yep.
Bill.
That's it. Yeah, we had our 48 out of 50 in the nation Oklahoma education stats. We had a Oklahoma history class, and they told us about Pecos Bill.
That's real weird because Pecos Bill's adventures spanned into Southwest Texas, New Mexico, Southern California, and Arizona. Had nothing to do with Oklahoma, so I have no idea why you learned that.
Well, that makes sense. 48 out of 50. So
It's 48 out of 50?
yep. When I was going through it last time I checked.
So it's like it's got to be Alabama. I think Alabama's the worst.
Wouldn't surprise me if it was like Alabama or Arkansas, Louisiana.
I don't think Arkansas is that bad.
Louisiana wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know that like Oklahoma, like teachers were straight up just like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah, they went on a strike
Mm-hmm.
to get raises.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, good for them, but they got paid more than me before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of people that work just as hard that are getting paid less, right?
Yeah, whatever, man.
It's whatever. I mean,
it's your grind, dude.
yeah.
You wanna
I
get
wouldn't
whatever?
I wouldn't want to teach elementary school.
No. I
That's
don't want to teach any kids. Those guys are fucking assholes.
they're terrible. Like my problem is right now. So the only thing that I like see is obviously like American news because it's the only thing that directly affects me.
Yeah.
And even to some point, it doesn't really affect me that much. I'm still gonna live my life the exact same way that I
Yeah,
live
you
my
see
life.
like California's on fire again. You're like, who cares?
yeah, really. I mean, the only thing that like concerns me about it is like, I got family in California. That's
Yeah.
it.
Which for me, it's like, I don't know anyone there. Like for you, I guess I'm relatively care.
Right.
But if I didn't know you, it'd be like, fucking let it burn down
Yeah.
already.
Right. So I only see the United States news. And I love America. I still think it's the best fucking country in the goddamn world, and I'll go toe to toe with anybody debating that shit.
Even a demon.
I'll go toe to toe with the demon, dude.
Yep.
Fucking let me pick my soundtrack.
Uh-huh.
Toe to toe. So if the demon's like, hey, I just want you to know Sweden's got socialized health care. And I go,
Yeah.
fuck you, they pay 60% in taxes. And
And he goes, wait. I picked the song, though. And you go, nope, I'm out.
yeah. I say, what song do you pick? He goes, have you ever heard Spice Girls? And I go, oh no.
No, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Listen, you can have a walk-on song, but I picked the song in the ring.
Yeah.
I'd announce that fight.
That'd be what's up.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I love America to bits.
Mm.
I cannot stand the direction that American, and maybe this is worldwide, but American youth, I sound old as fuck, but American youth is going.
Yeah.
I hate the way that they like talk to people. So my stepdad,
Yep.
you met John.
Uh-huh.
He's old as fuck.
Yeah.
He's 65 plus. I don't know actually how old he is, but I know he's over 60.
Uh-huh.
He's probably over 65. The dude we all got to wear our masks in the stores now. He's in rural Missouri. And so my mom had bought him a mask that said Trump 2020 on it.
Yep.
Whatever. You're within your rights to wear whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
So he goes to Walmart. Some lady walks up and goes, I hope you can't vote. And he was like, what? What are you talking about? And he was like, oh, my mask. He goes, yeah, I voted for the current president of the United States, and I'll probably vote for him again. She goes, fuck you. She's 30. She's a 30-year-old.
Well,
Woman.
yeah, that's you guys, though.
She's a 30-year-old woman.
When you say the youth,
Yeah, by youth I also mean like because I'm so fucking young.
do you mean millennials or Gen Z included, or
yeah, millennials, Gen Z, basically everybody that's like a little bit older than me and younger.
I would agree on the millennials, but I don't think I would be as inclined to agree on the Gen Z.
How old is Gen Z right now?
Gen Z is like teens to...
Yeah, just as bad.
Well, I don't think so, and can I tell you why?
Yeah, go ahead. No, I'll tell you why you're wrong, but go ahead.
Sure.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's the issue of the outspoken minority, right? So the SJW, I think the Gen Z generation is a majority of them are fed up with the like the political correctness and all this dumb bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like they already know that the world is shit and they don't really care. Like they're just here to have a couple laughs before it ends. I feel like that's the mindset of a lot of the Gen Z people.
I would disagree. And by a lot, do you mean majority?
I think it's close.
I think you're incorrect with that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're wrong with that.
I think the internet culture makes them grow up a lot faster.
Yeah, they grow up faster, and I definitely think that like memeing everything and making everything into a joke makes everybody a little bit more like desensitized to like everybody's feelings.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. My problem with that is who is raising these 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds? You know, who's raising them now? It's the millennials. The millennials are shitbags. Like my generation is a bunch of fucking scumbags.
Kids hate their fucking parents. They're gonna rebel against them.
Kids hate their parents for sure, but they still get their values from their parents.
Yeah, maybe in their 20s, but right now they don't give a fuck about their values.
I don't give a fuck what they do in their teens because they are not a contributing member to society.
Well,
it's whenever they get old enough to where they can vote, they can have a vote, they can have like a say in what's going on, and then they can contribute to society. Whenever they are starting to like,
great point. Not your argument.
That they're gonna. Okay, so I guess I can say no. It's still my argument.
No,
my argument's still right. Yes.
You're saying that
I don't like the direction. I said I don't like the direction. This was my original argument.
But where.
Look at you fucking stumbling over your words, you fucking Humpty Dumpty.
I'm brain farting.
Go ahead.
What you were inferring by.
What did I say though?
With the story that you don't like the generation that they're headed.
Yeah, I don't like the
direction that the generation is headed of the youth.
Of from a little bit older than me, like the millennial kind of era, and younger. I don't like the direction that they're headed.
Well, let me ask this then, since I don't think you're ever going to concede on my
absolutely not
my previous argument, no matter what.
Yep.
From so younger than you, meaning me and the people around my age as well.
Mm-hmm.
From what you see in the Marine Corps, do you think any of them are voting liberal, or have any liberal ideals?
In the Marine Corps?
Yep.
No, but I will say that the Marine Corps is a very small sect of the generation. So our testing pool, the testing pool that you're pulling from, is so minute.
But who are you pulling from?
From whenever I was in the real world, and seeing
2 years ago
those kids. Oh, so people evolve in 2 fucking years. Get the fuck out of here.
With the internet, it's faster and faster.
In 2 years, fuck no.
Yes.
The mindset of the human race.
Not the mindset, the political landscape. Yes, in 2 years.
It's gotten worse in 2 years.
I'm just saying that it can change.
I'm saying it's gotten worse in 2 years.
I would agree with that, yeah.
Okay.
The political landscape.
The direction that they're heading is worse.
Not the direction of their ideals. The political landscape as a whole, I would agree, has gotten worse.
Okay. What the fuck is your point?
My point is, I don't think the generation is getting worse. I think it's going to go in the opposite direction of all of this fucking bitching, whining, rioting, and looting into back to a traditionalist value or something resembling it, at least sort of.
So I'll be honest. I think at some point that is going to happen.
Yeah.
Do I think it's going to happen while I'm still relatively young? Absolutely not.
I think it'll happen within the next 10 years.
I don't think so. I don't see that happening. It's not going to.
I mean, it's already counterculture now.
Explain that.
I mean, the counterculture now, you wouldn't know because you don't keep up with the memes, but yeah,
Okay,
and it's
so
fucking
memes are-
stupid.
so
as
memes-
stupid as it sounds to say that, it's a larger part of our society now than it sounds stupid, but it is to our generation what like punk music and shit was to whatever your generation or whatever you had.
You and I are in the same generation. Don't get that fucked up for 1 second.
It certainly doesn't feel like it when you talk about movies.
Okay. what movies did I fucking... You said you didn't know something at the beginning of the show. I can't remember.
I didn't know Armageddon.
Armageddon. I still can't believe that. I cannot believe that.
I didn't know.
Do you know the Aerosmith song from Armageddon?
What?
You know the Aerosmith song from Armageddon?
What is it called?
Don't Want to Miss a Thing?
I think so, yeah.
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 The soundtrack of Armageddon.
They wrote that for a movie?
Yeah. Armageddon.
Huh. Well, I've heard the song.
I find it super hard to believe that you've never seen Armageddon.
Well, you never explained it. I was like, explain it. I might have seen it.
Okay. Armageddon it's pretty far-fetched, I'll tell you. So, a shit ton of meteors hit Earth.
Okay.
But the mother of all meteors...
Oh, did they have to go up and destroy the meteor before it hits Earth?
Yeah, but they send up a bunch of oil drillers.
Okay, I haven't seen the movie. I've seen the Family Guy parody skit about the movie.
Bro, you're trash, man. Holy fuck.
I haven't seen the movie. We'll watch it
and then
for
you
movie
argue
night.
with me about the way that the generations are heading. And you're like, I've seen the Family Guy edition.
Do you think movies fucking matter at all for a generation?
Bro, there's a movie coming out called Cracker, which is the inverse of what happened of if white people were slaves and black people were the slaves.
Exactly.
Slave owners.
We've already been over this before. You and me both agree that Hollywood's full of pedophiles and it's fucking stupid.
Well, if that movie comes out, I'll watch it because that seems like so funny to me.
I'll
watch it. I'm not gonna pay for it.
Yeah, I was trying to find a roundabout way of saying that.
Yeah. I'm not gonna pay for it.
Yeah,
but I will watch that because I think
it.
it'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but I like shitty movies. I like to watch.
Clearly, you haven't seen Armageddon. Great movie.
But do you want to watch it for movie night or what?
Well, Armageddon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch Armageddon for movie night.
We can have a movie night.
Bro,
we'll do a little 5-minute review.
It is packed with action.
Is it?
Packed with action and packed with, like, Hollywood powerhouses, man.
Like...
So it's got Liv Tyler in it. You know who Liv Tyler is? Okay, so first, do you know who's the lead singer of Aerosmith?
I don't know his name.
Steven Tyler.
Okay.
It's his daughter.
Yep.
She was the elf princess in Lord of the Rings.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's Liv Tyler. It's got Ben Affleck.
I definitely know that guy, but I'm blanking.
Holy fuck. He was like the most recent Batman. In like Batman vs. Superman, he played Batman.
I thought it was fucking something Christian.
Christian Bale?
Yeah, Christian Bale.
No, that was the guy that fought Bane. Even the more newer.
Oh, he was the better Batman.
Who?
Christian Bale.
Yeah. I'm not...
I didn't watch Superman vs. Batman.
Okay.
I knew from the beginning it was going to be a shitty movie.
Have you seen Justice League?
Nope, I haven't been up. I haven't been up on DC movies because they're all ass.
Okay, yeah. So, neither here nor there. Have you seen Good Will Hunting?
Clips.
Have you seen Dogma?
That's with the guy with something Silent
It's
Bob.
got Jay and Silent Bob in it. Yeah. I was just hoping that was just like contrarian enough for you to want to watch it.
I haven't seen it, but I know that they made it. I know that he made it. Like the fat guy was a director.
Yeah, Kevin Smith. Have you seen? I'm trying to think of other movies with. Have you seen The Town?
No.
Bro, you're a fucking bag of shit. Ben Affleck's in it.
Why are you judging me on whether I consume pedophile media or not?
Okay, dude. All right.
You've watched a lot of things that pedophiles have made. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Fucking trash bag.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it's got Bruce Willis in it. Have you ever heard of Bruce Willis?
Yes, I've seen Die Hard. Yes.
Okay. I haven't seen Die Hard.
What the fuck?
Nope, never seen it.
Wow. All right, we'll trade. You'll watch Die Hard. I'll watch Armageddon.
Okay. That seems fair. It's got oh man. I hope I don't fuck up his name. Michael Duncan Clark. I think that's his name.
He has 3
hey,
first
full
names.
transparency, we have been drinking. We've been drinking through this whole podcast. So
He has 3 first names.
yeah, it's a big black guy from The Green Mile. Take my hands, boss.
I'm gonna say something.
Almost scared of the dark.
Don't judge me from this.
Okay.
Is that the same guy from Pulp Fiction?
No, that's fuck. Kyle's like fucking kicking me in the ass right now. I've been drinking, man. It's like Vern something. That's that actor's name.
I don't know why, but they're the same person in my mind.
It's because they're both big black guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So let me see. Let me think. What the fuck else is that guy? Have you ever seen the shitty Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck?
When I was very small, I watched it with my grandpa when I stayed over at his house.
Okay. Well, first off, that's Ben Affleck.
I fell asleep.
Daredevil.
I fell asleep during the
Okay.
movie.
Fuck. What other movies?
Because it was fucking ass.
Have you seen the Slammin' Salmon?
You're fucking with me.
No, that's a real movie.
No.
It's the same guys that made Super Troopers.
Really?
Yeah, it's called the Slammin' Salmon.
I've seen Super Troopers.
Oh no way, man! You saw a fucking movie. It's got Owen Wilson in it.
Yeah, from Wedding Crashers.
Yeah, nice. It's got Steve Buscemi.
Yes, he was in Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Pink.
Yep, Mr. Pink.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to be Mr. Pink. Pink sounds too much like pussy.
No, I don't tip. Maybe she deserved it.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking. I don't know what he says.
It's like fuck you. Give me $8. Who else is in that movie?
We've listed people in this movie for like 10 minutes. Do you have a point to this?
It's a great movie. That's the fucking point.
Listen, I was just, you know what I'm just.
Okay, whatever, you stupid fat fuck. Ugly fat goblin fuck.
All right.
I feel like I haven't gone in on you enough this podcast.
Do you want to do that for like the last 5 minutes we got here?
Yeah, dude. So just so you know,
Yep.
I mentioned earlier
Uh-huh.
and podcast 1 that McKee definitely is a pedophile because he wanted to fuck Billie Eilish whenever she was underage.
Yes.
Dude went out to the Goodwill and he bought himself a shirt.
Yep. Salvation Army.
Salvation Army, yeah. Respect. He said, no. I don't want any regular t-shirt. Give me the shirt that my idol would wear. And they said, well, who's your idol? And he goes,
James Gandolfini.
wait, here it is. And he pulled off the rack a good old Cosby shirt. And he said, bloop, bloop, fizz. Hey, drink this.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what you look when you see it?
Yeah, that's a Cosby shirt.
I got this because I recognized it from a Sopranos episode where Tony was wearing it.
So
James Gandolfini.
Pedophile media that you watched?
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I think the main difference here when you get frustrated with me on this is I watch series and you watch movies.
So series can't be like no pedophiles had anything to do with any series.
I didn't say that.
So what the fuck are you getting pissed off about?
I'm just saying that's the difference. Is you watch movies and I watch series. So
Okay,
how
what
would I
series?
know?
What series have you watched?
Like complete or
Name some.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay, I've seen every fucking episode. Go ahead.
Sopranos, Breaking Bad.
Seen every episode. Go ahead.
Lost, Better Call Saul. What was that shitty one I watched with Pearson? There's like these teens that fucking crashed on an island. It was some young adult.
Oh, it was
adopted.
100. Is that it?
Yeah, maybe. I didn't watch all that, but I watched it.
I remember he
for a
was
little
into
bit.
it.
I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
I thought it was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But that a lot of anime, but I don't really watch it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
As
probably-
I've gotten older, I just don't care as much.
Yeah. I'm probably more into. I've gotten more into anime the older that I've gotten.
The exact opposite for me. Because everything's like it's some high school dude. It's just some self-insert that
Right.
just is. Wow, he sucks, but actually he has this hidden power, and now all the girls want to fuck him. And I don't know. The story is just worn.
See, that's like my. That's why my favorite animes probably don't follow that script as much.
Well, there certainly are
well,
that don't, but
I don't know. My Hero Academia is very much in that same vein of like
Yeah.
this guy sucked, but he worked really really hard. But there's so many good characters in that. If anybody's favorite character is the main character, then you're fucking stupid. That's like whenever I like, there's a couple things that I base. Like if people are like, oh my gosh, I love this show or I love that show, I will judge you heavily on. I'll ask you who your favorite character is. So have you seen The Office?
yeah, I have.
Have you watched it enough to know character names?
Most of them.
Have you developed which is your favorite character?
I don't think I've ever thought about that, but if you asked me and I had to pick like right now without stalling,
Yep.
I'd probably pick like Dwight.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then you fucking suck.
What do you want?
Well, yeah. Yeah, you suck.
Who's yours?
I'll give you a little bit of leeway with Dwight because Dwight is a really good character.
Who's yours?
Creed. Duh.
That Creed is pretty good.
Yeah, Creed's the best fucking character.
He was my second.
Yeah,
honestly.
I think if I would have given you enough time, you would have actually come to Creed.
Yeah. Probably. Well, I watched it a lot with like an ex-girlfriend though. I wasn't really into it.
Right.
It was kind of just like background.
Background noise while you were getting your fucking toe sucked.
Yeah.
My man, dude.
I was
Getting that toe play.
Them ass cheeks.
Yeah. Let me clap, 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 clap. And then like the second thing is like, so back whenever I was like on the dating scene, I'd be very forward about who I am, like my likes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I never pretended like I was somebody that I wasn't. I'd be like, yeah, I love nerd shit. I love Pokemon. Oh my gosh, I love Pokemon. And
Bitch, who
and
is
this
your
was
favorite?
it. Yep. And I go, oh, who's your favorite Pokemon? And this would either make or break a
Charizard,
date.
huh? Charizard, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
I love Pikachu. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Anybody that says that shit, and like what sucks is like, so Char, she's always like had like an affinity to the Charmander line. but she picks it because she's like Char, Charmander,
Yeah.
Charmeleon, Charizard. Like she's like
Very egocentric.
yeah, well, yeah, she's obsessed with herself as much as I'm obsessed with myself. So it makes
good
great.
pair.
Yeah, good pair.
Yeah.
So like I give her that, and also like she grew up without Pokemon. Like Pokemon was not a very Australian thing.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like
Well-
right. It's like right by Japan.
100%. But so Pokemon was deemed too American in her household because her mom didn't let her watch American television.
So the Aussies were just like, ugh, superior culture.
Yeah,
We don't
absolutely.
want that.
Yeah, I've gotten into it with her mom a few times about like why we are so much better than Australia.
Like culture-wise?
Everything wise.
How can you argue culture-wise that it's better?
I don't know how you can argue culture wise any place else in the world. No other
Yeah.
place in the world influences the world like the United States does.
But certainly there are other places that are far closer than Australia
to
the U.S.
yeah,
Like, is Australia's like not? I don't even think I'd consider it top 5
oh, you mean like
in
culture influence?
Yeah, and like what fucking
right.
good shit has Australia put out? It's like
Right, they gave us. I mean, like, hey, R.I.P. Steve Irwin,
yeah.
number one. Like, I fucking love Steve Irwin.
I was kind of too young.
He was, oh my god, that was like on like summer, like during the summer breaks. You'd watch more TV. You watch daytime TV more than you ever have, and like just go to Animal Planet, and they'd just be like, "Here's a fucking 32-hour block of Crocodile Hunter," and you're like, "Well, I know what I'm going to be doing for fucking 32 hours. Crocodile Hunter. I'm going to watch every fucking episode this guy ever created."
I just remember like hearing him die, and I was like maybe 12 at the time.
Yeah, I don't know how old I was either.
But
You were probably younger than that.
Maybe, but I was just 12 when this happened. But I went to the aquarium. There were stingrays that you could pet, and I was like, "Fuck you son of a bitch."
Yeah, literally like so stingrays, which were probably like, I mean, they definitely weren't in the top 100 hated animals of the world.
Yeah.
Fuckers jumped to number 1.
Yeah.
Right up there. They said, "Bye snakes, bye spiders. There's a new kid in town, and it's the stingray." But yeah, so if I was to like ask somebody who their favorite, I love Pokemon. Who's your favorite Pokemon? They give me a really fucking basic ass answer.
What was yours again?
Snorlax.
Okay, yeah.
Snorlax is my favorite Pokemon, and it's been my favorite Pokemon for probably a decade.
Still Gengar for me.
That one's not bad. You're bordering on the verge of basic.
What do you want? He's cool.
I don't want anything from you.
He's cool.
I'm just letting you know where it stands.
He's cool.
Huh.
I don't care about popularity contests. Don't care. He's cool. I like him.
So let me ask you this, because I got a buddy, and me and him would get into this argument all the time because he liked Pokemon as well.
Yep.
Who would win in a fight? A Snorlax or a Jolteon?
Like Pokemon canon, or are we going off Pokemon games?
Games.
Snorlax.
Okay. Canon.
I only ask because I know less about the canon, so you could be like, well, in episode blah, blah, blah.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. But in the games, for sure, Jolteon. Or not Jolteon, pardon me.
Yeah,
Snorlax.
Yeah.
It's...
Just Giga Impact, and then it'd be over.
So you literally, the moveset that you put on them is you put on Rest, Sleep Talk, Giga Impact,
Yep.
and Hyper Beam.
Yep.
Giga Impact and Hyper Beam are moves that attack on the first move, but then you have to rest on the second move.
Yep. And then you can just Sleep Talk.
Yeah. So you go to rest, you go to sleep, you heal yourself up. You don't even have to be healed up. You can just fucking press rest. You can just go rest right away. Sleep Talk. It'll either do Giga Impact or Hyper Beam.
Yep.
Since you are already asleep, you don't need to rest.
Yep.
For another turn. So you can literally just Giga Impact after Hyper Beam and just murder everybody. It's broken. They actually made that illegal in competitive Pokemon to do that.
I think you're deeper into this than me. I never was even remotely close to being into the competitive scene.
Well, I'm not really that much into it, but I do love Snorlax.
Yeah.
I think he's like he's a great design.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like normal types are like ass. Like any normal type Pokemon is just, for the most part, they're not good.
Yep.
And then you got two beefy boys, Snorlax and Slacking.
Yeah.
Slacking got nerfed so hard because they're like, every other turn he's loafing around. He can only attack every other turn. Snorlax is like, I'll attack every turn, and I'll take every fucking hit that you throw at me. And then, oh man, I'm about to die. Just kidding.
Just kidding. Oh, I got leftovers too.
Yeah, I got leftovers. I got leftovers right here too. Yeah, like Snorlax is just like the best. Of course, do you know who would win in a fight between your favorite Pokemon and my favorite Pokemon?
It depends what gen.
Well, you and I would probably tie.
Like overall.
Yeah. Because ghost type moves can't hit normal type Pokemon, and normal type moves can't hit ghost type Pokemon.
Yeah, but in the newer gens, like Gengar can use like dark shit, right?
Yeah, he can use dark moves.
But he's not ghost anymore in the new ones, right? Or am I wrong?
He's ghost and poison. He's always been ghost and poison. Yeah.
Me no know.
Yeah.
I just know the sprite looked cool for his shadow ball or shadow bomb, some shit like that.
Yeah, shadow ball.
In
Yeah.
Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and I was like, cool.
Yep. Yeah, it does look badass.
You want to do the outro? You want to get us out of here?
You want me to do it?
Please.
All right. Hey, thank you for listening to another episode. This was Restemeyer and McKee
With Octothorpe.
with Octothorpe. We didn't talk much about really anything, but I hope you enjoyed listening to
We
it.
wasted your fucking time. Holy
Hell
shit.
yeah.
Good night.
If you got time to burn, listen, I guess. Ain't got nothing else going on? Tune in.
Yeah. Hey, if you have any comments, also email bigdick1 through 7 at gmail.com. I'm on all of them. Just let me know. You know?
Yeah, and hey, since this is unlisted, can they still leave comments?
I think so.
Yeah. Hey, if you're listening, leave a comment. Let us know what you'd like to hear us talk about in the next episode. We really don't give a shit if anybody's really listening. This is just fun for us to do. So we're going to keep making them. But if there's something you'd like us to talk about, then we will talk about. Oh, fuck. There was something that Kyle wanted us to talk about.
What?
He wanted us to talk about people that claim to have PTSD but have never seen combat.
What? You just told me about this.
I completely fucking forgot. All right, hey, so next week, tune in next week because we're going to be talking about people that claim PTSD and have never seen combat.
Epic, dude.
Right.
Nice. Just got 73 hours of his time wasted. How long did this bitch run?
Bro, I think we talked for about 3 hours. What time is it? 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 Time is it?